said women should not be treated like queens. You said it in your interview.
Who is saying that women should not be treated like queens?
But isn't it the truth, though?
Queens should be treated like queens. A woman is a woman, a queen is a queen. A queen is royalty. And you see, when you're saying a woman should be treated like a queen, what you're trying to say is that by virtue of being a woman, she is already a queen. And yet, some of these women, they have no honor, they have no dignity. They have children from multiple men. They don't respect themselves.
They don't come from royalty.
Yeah, and they don't come from royalty.
But if you choose her, hasn't she become your queen?
In most of marriages that break up, normally it's the women who come out to say why it happened. But it does not always mean the men are the villain. It's just because women like playing victim.
Even men play victim a lot.
Men don't play victim.
Even
That's why men suffer in silence. That's why men commit suicide the most.
No. Oh, women do.
No.
Women are committing
suicide. You cannot compare the rate of suicide of men and women.
The rate of suicide for men is higher.
How many women are being abused in comparison to the men who are being abused?
This is what is called the Victimhood Olympics. Men cannot win. When you want to compete with a woman about who is the more victim, a woman will always win.
What's wrong with someone coming in with another child?
They want you to be responsible for these kids in the sense that you attend the school meetings, sports day, you pay the school fees, you pay the rent, you guide them as a father. But when these kids start misbehaving, you cannot punish them.
You should accept the children in your home as yours, because another woman in reality is also raising your own children in another home. Because
but Zippy, how practical is that? Because I think we just saw a story.
No, men have bangowakandos and men are having children outside wedlock, and their children are being raised by another man. Why is it a big deal when it is here?
You have a woman who is telling you one of the main reasons women are getting married is because of sex. But you tend to disagree.
The reason I'm disagreeing is this. Practically almost any man can have sex with a woman. But a woman will not marry any man. She's going to marry a man who has money, who has status, who is somebody in the society.
No, and a man who she enjoys sex with.
Yes, that is also true.
Yes, and a man.
And she will enjoy sex with him because of the things I mentioned.
No.
You're not going to enjoy sex with a broke man.
Women will marry you and commit.
Okay, some men
whether the sex is bad, they will
not,
start.
They will commit.
But if women marry and commit, men will not be failing paternity tests.
A very good morning to you and a warm welcome to today's episode of LNS Rebuilding Restoration Series. My name is Lynn Ngugi. I honestly don't know what we are going to be rebuilding today because you asked for them and they are here. I have to say this is the most awaited conversation on the platform. I get to sit with two incredible people. One is the author of Oops Zippy and the other one is the author of Unplugged. And the love that you're giving these two books is incredible. But you all know why we are here, because we said let's have a panel discussion. We have so many questions. Personally, leo mimi nitanyamaza tu kama maji kwa mtungi because I gotta moderate this in the most effective way. But I hope by the time we are done with this conversation, as I always say, we will have learned a thing or two. My aim with this platform is to make sure that we encourage people to have even tough conversations. We don't always have to be right, but we can always respect each other's opinion, and if we differ, let's differ respectfully on the comment section. So I'm about to let them introduce themselves so that we can kickstart this conversation. But before I do that, of course, I want to pay a couple of bills. Today, I want to thank my incredible partners at King's Developers Limited. But above all, today's conversation is proudly powered by these two. I want us to adopt a reading culture so that we can be able to broaden our mindset. So if you've not gotten yourself a copy of Unplugged 1, 2, or 3, and if you've not gotten yourself a copy of Oops Zippy, head on to my favorite bookstore, Hapo Nuria, and check them out. And of course, now without further ado, please allow me to let my guests again introduce themselves. Hi.
Hello.
Latecomers. Let's start there. Let's start there. Hey, leo muwezi niambia chochote. You failed the test of time. Both of you, a respected lecturer and a respected author. What's happening? How are you?
Hi, Lynn. We dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Good.
The purpose, there were other purposes.
Yes.
That hizo meetings ndio zilikuwa zinaisha. Yeah,
Ni
but
meet-
we were coming.
You are coming. Karibuni sana. Please,
Asante sana.
it's really nice to have you guys once again on the platform. I have to say the love my people are giving you, though some tend to disagree with a couple of things that you guys have said. I love the feedback on the comment section, and I keep saying one of the things I love about this platform is that we are actually able to disagree respectfully. So welcome once again. I know it's not easy to get the both of you sitting here together at the same time, same day, so I don't take this for granted. But maybe before we go any further, I know there are people who are maybe watching you for the very first time. Could you please introduce yourselves? Let's start with men first, because
Oh, you don't want to go ladies first? Okay. So thank you. My name is Jacob Aliet, author of Unplugged, and also someone who is very interested in masculinity, understanding it, and also helping men to become the best versions of themselves. So my task today is very simple. I just want to take Zippy to school and follow us about the kind of content that I put out there.
Yeah.
Because I've realized there's a lot of misunderstanding about the things I say and the kind of meanings behind my content.
Okay.
So I'm glad that this opportunity has availed itself so that we can be very clear about where we stand.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, Zippy, tunapelekwa shule.
Tunapelekwa shule. Life is about learning and unlearning, so it's okay.
And relearning.
And relearning. Yeah, I'm Dr.Zippy Okoth. I am a filmmaker and storyteller and an author. And I am also a lecturer of film at KCA University. And I am a Pan-Africanist. Yes, I am a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the African values of life. And that's where I come from.
Good.
Yes.
And I know last time when we were here, we happened to mention Jacob Aliet, and I asked you what you thought about his views and the show, and you are very, is it honest?
Dismissive.
Yes, she was.
She was
I am
dismissive.
very honest.
And you are very honest, and you thought that he was here simply to
Sell a
sell
book.
his book, right?
Yes.
And I saw the post that followed on Facebook of our show together. What do you think about her views? Do you think you are out to sell a book?
No, I'm not out to sell a book. The book is already selling. So that is no longer my intent. Actually, the book has exceeded my expectations. The kind of impact it has had is not something that I actually foresaw. I just wanted to share my thoughts about the kind of research I've done and about intersexual dynamics. So that was not the point. But it's a view that many people actually have expressed to me. They feel that the book is selling because I'm a good marketer. So many people say that, but you know what guys don't know, many people don't know, that's my 7th book. If I was a good marketer, I would actually have been selling all the other 6 books. So, and this is something I tell guys about what we call the compounding effects of your efforts. If you're doing something, you have a passion on something, just do it, but at some point you're going to blow up. So that's what has happened to me with Unplugged. It's not because I'm a good marketer, and in many cases, there is no kind of marketing you can do to make a poor product actually sell. So it's the product itself. It's not about my skills of marketing.
Yeah, and maybe one of the things people need to understand, you didn't even ask to be on the show. I am actually the one who watched you somewhere, and I was so inspired by your thought pattern. And I said, let me invite him so that we can also get to hear what he has to say. Back to Zippy, one of the things you said that she does not understand, she's not a high value woman. On your Facebook, because she defined herself as a high-value woman.
Okay.
But you are not a high-value woman.
Okay.
So why is Zippy not a high-value woman?
I'm not saying she's not a high-value woman.
Yeah.
But from what she said, I could see that there's a misunderstanding about what high value is.
Yes.
Women today, they use masculine metrics to measure their value, which is not the case. Because men are not like women. Women are what we say are beauty objects, and men are success objects. A woman needs to preserve her beauty. A man has to create his own value. So women are born with value, but men are born without value. They must actually create the value. That's how they become valuable in the society. And that's why virtues like modesty, virginity, and decorum, they are really valued, and they're things that are expected from women, as opposed to men, where you expect things like courage, creativity, and being able to take risks.
Yes.
Those are the things that are expected from men. So that itself indicates to you how value is created or maintained in both sexes. So it's not the same. A woman can, for example, accumulate a lot of wealth and education. But if you present a woman who is very educated and rich in his 40s, okay, and then you present a woman who is not educated in her 20s, and you get a man who already has everything he needs, you tell him to pick the two, he's going to pick the younger woman. Because all these metrics that this woman has in her 40s, those are masculine metrics of value. But the feminine metrics of value will be actually in this other younger woman. So that is what I meant, and people need to understand that. So I don't want you to make it personal that it's about Zippy. No, it's not about her. That is just how, because you see, in the sexual marketplace, we have to understand that between the genders, there are people who are sellers and there are people who are buyers. It's the market that decides. So if you take a 40-year-old woman in a market and a 23-year-old woman in a market where it's the men who are picking, the 23-year-old woman is going to win. That one just goes without saying. So that shows you the value. In economics, we normally say that it is demand that determines the value of a product. A product cannot decide that it is valuable if nobody wants it. So if you use that as a test and you look at men as the buyers, the men are going to choose the younger woman. So that is that's what we refer to when we refer to the sexual marketplace value or the value of a woman. Of course, our own self-worth is not determined by other people. You determine what your self-worth is. But I'm just talking about the sexual marketplace value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zippy?
Yeah, when Aliet talks like that, do you ever imagine that these 40-year-olds were once 25? That's always the question. Because when women reach 40, it is not that they were never 25. It is a stage of life that they passed through. So it's like telling women, when you're 25, you have high value, but you should never age, because when you age, you lose your value. Yet on the other side, he has said that men are the ones whose value changes. They are never born with value, right?
Yes.
Women are born with that value. So if I was born with that value, and I really had that value at 25, why has it changed when I am 40?
That's a very good question.
Very good.
And there's a misconception here. The woman who is in her 40s, it doesn't mean she's no longer valuable. We normally talk about she's like a pearl that is now just yellow. Pearls are very bright, but over time they become yellow. She's still a pearl, but now it's a yellow pearl. So what happens?
Oops, Zippy.
Yeah.
Oops, Zippy.
So what
No,
happens?
the thing is this. No, let him answer.
Let me finish
because
first.
Let him
The
finish.
point of it is that we are just trying to tell young women that when you're in your 20s, that is the time when you're at your most valuable. Besides, it's not just...
Actually, Ali, just to stop you a bit, you've not even said when you're at 20s. According to your theories, a woman is only at her prime from 22 to 25. Those are only 4 years you've given a woman.
Okay, that's not what I say, but go on.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah, so
after 25, we have no value.
It's actually from in your 20s mainly, but it's not something Aliet is saying. This is biology. Biology says that a woman's eggs are of best quality between her late teens and about 26, 27. When she reaches 30, the quality starts declining. And then later on in her late 30s, she gets into what we call the geriatric stage. Okay? This is biology. This is not a lady something someone can Google. But you see, the important thing is the messaging that we are passing to women, young women, is that they should not waste their prime. Everyone has their prime. Even men are also in their prime at some point, and at some point they also decline in value. So the important thing is that for women, their value comes earlier. A young man who is 23 years old is very, very broke. He doesn't have a proper career and so on. But later on in his 30s, he begins to get into his financial stride. A young woman in her 20s has a lot of demand. Men want and so on. So what we are telling women, don't throw away your value when you're still young. Because when you become older and younger women are entering the marketplace, it's going to be very difficult for you to compete if you've wasted your 20s just running around.
So you have only limited women's value to sex.
Okay, that's a good point. A woman's value is not only her sexuality, but it's a primary agency. Okay?
What are the other age?
Yeah.
What are the other?
Still, if your woman is talented, like yourself, hardworking.
Thank God it's praised to me.
Yes. If a woman is talented, you're talented, you're hardworking, you're well-behaved, well-spoken. All those virtues matter. Okay? But they're not your primary agency. If a woman has all those qualities, but she's in... if you look at the television right now, yesterday I was watching the flood reports being given on Citizen TV. I could see Jeff Koinange, who is, I think, in his 50s now. But this other woman who was with him is a very young woman. And we have several talented women who can actually report these things. But they're not put on television because they're not appealing to the audience. It is because...
No, they are. They are. Remember, we've had a couple of them who are even in their 50s. I don't believe the late Catherine Kasavuli.
She was there for the longest time.
I don't believe people like Belinda Obura were 18 or 19.
Like
Yes.
in their 40s and right now
yes,
they're...
I honestly don't believe even Sophie Kenya in BBC.
Yes,
I don't believe Amampo is.
But they're very few.
I don't believe
If
Becky
they're indie,
They are
Anderson.
many.
They are
No,
very,
there
very
are
few.
so
They are
many,
many.
They are very,
Aliet.
very few.
Actually,
Yeah.
this is the only part, because me, I'm the moderator, but this part right here, I could count 10 women who are in front of television doing exactly that, and they are way above their 40s.
But it is not the trend. It is not the trend. The younger women are taking... Even if you look at the radio, look at all our radio stations, there are so many capable women who can be able to deliver the content, but you find they're going for the younger women. And even if you look at... even if you forget what I'm saying about the TV, look at the cosmetic industry. It's $1 trillion industry, but it is just sustained by women because women prioritize their looks and their beauty. They understand how important it is for them to look that good, to enhance their beauty. Women idealize themselves. Even if you look at, there is this app right now that is on social media. People are using it to generate their own images using AI. It's mainly women who are using it. That is how women have evolved. And it's not a bad thing. The people who take offense at this, it's just the same way women nowadays take offense when you say that a woman who is a virgin has more value than a woman who has run around a lot. It is something that we are learning from the West. But this is reality. Even if you look at when women go for an interview, and that's why people talk about pretty privilege. A woman who is more beautiful has a very good chance.
What's beauty?
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
So what's
But
the
generally, across all cultures, beauty standards are agreed. Beauty is normally about symmetry, okay? Symmetry is one thing, and then there is also youth. There is what we call the hip-to-waist ratio among women. Those are markers of fertility. So the way men look at beauty, like your skin, you have a very good skin, you have long hair. Long hair is also an indicator of health and also, of course, fertility. That's why many women wear long hair. So beauty, yes.
Just to know that we keep short hair because ours grow very fast. They grow very fast. Lynn.
Yeah, this is real. So that's why I'm telling you, I'm going to take you to school. So,
And yet may I have a selfish question for myself. I'm not fertile.
Your hair grows
course you
very
are.
fast. That's why
Of course
it's
you
thick
are.
African
of
hair.
course you are. This is African hair. And it is okay. You see, it's not the only thing because if you remember, there are many markers of beauty. I've mentioned the skin, I've mentioned your hair, I've mentioned symmetry, I've mentioned hip to waist ratio and so on. So there are many.
Good.
That is what constitutes beauty.
But I'd like to interrupt a little,
Go on.
especially because you've really used the cosmetic industry.
Yeah.
Right now, when you look at almost all billboards in this country, tell me the one where they have used women in their 20s.
Okay, I haven't seen any.
Yeah,
haven't
because
seen any.
right now, first of all, they'll look at it like, okay, women in their 20s are, they don't have purchasing power. Let's start from there. I think that's why they're not on the billboards. But also, the age at which women start being very aware of their beauty is in their mid-30s going on.
Aware.
Yes, aware.
I wouldn't agree, but go on.
Yes. Or
Yeah.
you won't
What
agree
do you
because
disagree with?
Yeah,
you don't
you
want
see,
to agree with that because you're a man.
someone
Yes.
like Aziad. Aziad, I think, is in her 20s.
Yes, she
And
is.
she's got a lot of opportunity. I'm seeing she's advertising for Dubai as a
Yes.
holiday destination and so on and so forth. But also, the reason why they don't use women in their 20s is because now we're in the age also of influencers. Most of these influencers are women who are in their 30s and
No,
40s.
no, no, no,
Yes.
no.
That is one.
No,
Wait,
no.
I've not finished.
Go,
The
Look at
other-
let him
the,
the
and
other
the one you have
Let-
given us is the one of the biggest
Let him
influencers
finish.
in her 20s.
The
we
other
could
thing
we
also
could
is
also
about-
say Kate Actress
Yes.
was voted as the person who appeared in most billboards
And we
in
have
the
Yes,
country.
Mungai right
influence.
now.
And
She's in her
not,
20s.
but she's not in her 20s.
Yes, but she's
right?
an influencer.
Yes, but we are just saying the same way. So if we have
So it
Aziad
means she
here,
still
we
has
have
the
Kate
high
here.
value. Because if
Yes.
the high value here on your own terms is based on sexuality, let me just even demystify for you. Right now, women in their 40s are more fertile than women in their 20s. And you know, because of their lifestyle issues. You know, when you go to clubs, I mean, there is the shisha and the alcohol. During our days, that was not the norm. Women were even shy to even take a reds. It was reds.
Yes.
The red scan.
Yes.
But nowadays, girls are taking that a lot. That right now, if you placed, let me say 5 women, 35 plus, let me not even say 40 plus, but then you placed 5 below 30, do you know higher fertility in these ones of 40s than 20s?
Now, that is not true.
So when you are talking about right now, I think your theories
what's
are
not
based on
true?
20
that
years
is not
ago.
true.
What's not
Biologically, it is
Yeah.
not true, first of
No,
all.
but you
No.
see, biology
Just
is
plain
affected
biology.
by lifestyle.
No. Biology is affected by that is true, but biology is a bigger influencer of fertility than lifestyle.
The thing is this, Aliet, biology is the way God created us.
And you love to be
But-
very extreme
No,
for you
no.
to be more fertile in your 40s
No,
than in your
no.
20s. And this is called blocking.
Generally,
It's called what?
lifestyle.
Blocking.
No.
Older women do this to younger women. It's like they're basically trying to eliminate them from the sexual marketplace.
How? Why? And we have got girls.
By
We have
either
got-
saying
Yeah.
that they are mannerless, they use drugs, the way she's saying,
No. That is
Or-
not an accusation.
or-
That is a fact.
or the
Yes.
men who want them are pedophiles. You know, they want children who they can take advantage of.
Yes.
So this is just sexual competition. I cannot take what she's saying personally. Women, even younger women, have things to say about older women. So
Yes.
this happens a lot.
So you think older women are scared of young girls? That's
They're
why
not scared, they're just
that's-
competing
They are
them.
they are competing.
Yeah, they're competing
But
them. So they have to reduce their value.
I have a question.
Yes.
If at 22 and 25, that's around that age,
Yes.
is when a woman's sexual market value is up there.
Yes.
You as a man who is 40,
Yeah.
walk me through your relationship with a 22-year-old.
Okay. I've not had a relationship with a 22-year-old. but there's one thing that people need to understand. You know, the way Hollywood has sort of advertised this thing.
Yeah.
Like, for you to have a relationship with a woman, you need to have intelligent conversations with her and things like that. That is normally not the case. It really doesn't matter. So long as, you see, what people keep forgetting when you're talking about this 22-year-old, this 22-year-old is allowed to become a CEO, a female CEO.
Yeah.
That's
This 22-year-old is allowed to vote. So why isn't this 22-year-old allowed to have a relationship with a 40-year-old woman? Just because a 40-year-old women are feeling jealous, it cannot be the case.
But you
So
see,
what
at
if
22,
it is vice versa? What's
hold-
the problem?
Which vice versa?
So you have said that there's no problem with a 40-year-old and a 22.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the difference?
The difference is vice versa is this young man who is going out with a 42-year-old woman, in most cases, he's not going to be able to have children. And remember, the biological...
Why?
Wait. Because that woman is in menopause.
No,
Yes.
menopause does not start that early.
Okay.
but Ashanti is pregnant.
Yeah.
Those they use in vitro
Menopause- no.
fertilization.
Menopause
And I've
starts-
seen those cases where they
menopause
really
starts at
advertise.
50 for
Even-
most, in fact,
Those are
55.
delusions, by
Yes,
the way.
but also menopause doesn't necessarily start at
It
40.
doesn't, but
Yeah.
you get into geriatric pregnancy.
That's true.
You can start having children that have defects.
No, that's
No,
true.
no.
That is-
No, that's
our
true.
our
This is
last
reality.
born was
It is not
given
a-
back
by
to
the
when
way-
my mommy was in her 40s.
Zippy, actually, that
Yeah.
part is true.
This is true.
You can,
This is true. It doesn't mean that the child you'll have will have defects, but there are chances.
the chances
But
are
and they
higher.
keep increasing.
The chances are actually higher.
Yes.
Okay, but it does not. That one depends also on lifestyle.
I
Because
don't know.
yes, The
It's
number
possible.
of young
It's
people
possible.
I'm seeing
But you
having
see,
children
lifestyle,
with defects are
yeah,
higher
but-
than even older.
yeah, but-
That's why I'm talking about lifestyle has really affected women's sexuality.
yeah, but you see, lifestyle, is a very wide thing. It
No,
could
of
be
course,
what
lifestyle, you're just talking about eating healthy,
Yeah.
exercise, I mean, eating good food and not junk, alcohol and stuff. Simple things, not,
Yeah.
yes.
lifestyle, I think, can affect your function as a human being in terms of your health, your mobility,
And it has affected the
and
younger
so
people,
on.
and the younger people are
But-
having more
But it will not
children
affect
with more defects.
it won't affect the quality of your eggs.
It affects.
It may not
Right
affect.
now,
Our audience
more
because
will
because
children.
when
Yeah.
you're looking at biology, they talk about age. They don't give exclusion and say, okay, a woman in her 40s, the age will be like this, but if she lives healthy, no, they don't.
Do
give
you
any
know that
exclusions.
when it comes to this biology, the same biology, let me talk about something that I think maybe I understand better.
Yes.
Things like nutrition, the things that we were told 20 years ago that could even help us lose weight, right now they have all been demystified. And because that was the knowledge that they could get that time. Right now, science and new inventions have given us better ways of having better nutrition.
I agree.
The same way, even the same biology. So we cannot be talking about
Until it
children having
happens.
defects
Until it
are
happens.
only high among older people. That was if all things remain constant. But right now, the truth is the younger people's lifestyle is making them more prone to that lifestyle that will make them have children with higher defects.
This is true, but you have to have research finding that actually shows this. Because you see, for example, I'm in my 40s now. And I know many guys in their 40s, for example, if they drink, many of them, the hangover they deal with maybe even takes 2 days.
Yeah.
But when they're in their 20s, they can drink and they're just okay. They go
Yeah.
to work the next day. So you can find a similar thing also happens with the younger people. They may be leading a very poor lifestyle. They're drinking a lot of alcohol, smoking shisha. But because of their youth, their eggs are still of very good quality.
One of the things, I saw someone said it might be the reason why men in their 40s will go for a 22, 23-year-old. It's easy to control a 22 to a 23-year-old. A 40-year-old woman will ask you questions that you don't want to be asked as
That
a
is
man.
true. That is very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. What's wrong with that?
Tell
Why
me.
do I want someone to ask me questions? You see, the point is
Now,
this.
before you answer, I want you to answer these two questions at the same time. Aliet, assume, that's not
Yes.
you. Assume that as a man who is in your 40s, you've married this 25-year-old woman, right? Then 10 years later, she did not have a job or anything. 10 years later, she grows, she starts a business, and if her hands are like zippies, it flourishes beyond.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
So what happens to you? That time you're 50 and she's 35 and she's very successful. Has her value reduced?
Her value has not reduced, Because, okay, one thing people don't understand. The sexual marketplace value only applies to people who are in the sexual marketplace. If you are a married person, you are not in the sexual marketplace. So we can also, it's just the same way to your children, you will always be the beautiful mother.
Yes.
There is no point when
Yeah.
they'll now say, Mama,
So
Mommy
this
is all
discussion
man.
does not
No, it doesn't
fall
involve
for-
people who
for
are
people
married.
who are married
Yeah,
or in
because they are not in the
relationships.
sexual marketplace. They
in
don't
fact-
even
in
care.
fact, now,
Yeah.
let me put it like this. Let me take it to the divorcees and singles.
Yes.
So, us who are married before 25, and then now we got to divorced by the age of 30, or let me say 35. Now we are back in that scene. You get what I mean?
Yes.
And here is that other man, the other men whom we are dating.
Yes.
Yeah, the ones we are dating.
Yes,
we are
yes.
not that single yet. Yes.
Yes.
So the question is, why do you want to believe that women in their 40s are not having room to get men? Because when you always talk, I always feel like you assume that women divorce, but those men are not divorced. Because here in this same platform, when we divorce these men, they also become divorcees, and they are also in this dating game looking
Yes.
for other women. And most divorced men never, let me not say never, rarely want to go for women who have not tried at all. They also want women who have been divorced or widowed, so that they're not starting on a very clean slate. Yeah. I'm saying this because I'm in 2 divorced groups.
Okay.
Yes. Not that I'm dating them all, but that is the that's the conversation. So you'll find that here are men in their 40s and 50s, divorced and widowed, but they do not want to go for the 20s because they feel like, if when I married Zippy, she was in her 20s and things broke up, then let me get someone who's mature and who I feel we can have a conversation with. So when you talk about women only in their 20s, it's not about children only, because when people look at it around, Zippy can have children even right now. And also, there's also the fact of this one, even men who have not been divorced say it is better to marry right now a woman with a child because you are sure she can give birth.
Depending on age, huh?
No. Whether it is depending on her age,
Experience.
whether it is 20s, even in my village back in Homa Bay, people prefer to marry that 20-year-old or 22-year-old girl with a child than the same 22 without a child, because this one there's proof that she can conceive. So these are like 3 questions in one, you know. So what is your thought? I mean, if I was when you married me, I was not successful. Now here I am. But then as divorcees, where do the men look for?
Okay, so there are a lot of questions, but I'm going to try to address all of them. The first thing is that women who are divorced who are in their 40s, they will always have men who want them. I think we need to understand that.
Yeah.
But the thing yes, but the thing women need to understand, there's a difference between the man that you can have and the men that you can keep. Yes. So most of these men will be willing, they'll look for you, they'll sleep with you, but they're not going to marry you.
No, that one, and Aliet, I want you to understand that the groups that I am in, women really understand that. And the one thing that happens when you've been divorced is you can smell the men who are just coming for the sex and the men who are ready for a conversation to take.
But that's why they stay in those groups, because they are staying single.
No.
Otherwise, those groups wouldn't be existing.
No. Those groups are support groups, because Aliet, I can tell you, divorce is not easy.
Yes.
You need a support group. And sometimes when somebody has found somebody, they exit the group. They say, guys, thank you. I have found somebody. But that is a support group. Just like a drug, alcohol support group, a divorce support group is very essential for somebody to heal through. So it is not, they are not there because they are single. They are there because they need somebody to hold their hand.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because from the way you're speaking, someone would actually think or conclude that women who are divorced in their 40s, you know, they have so many options out there. They're getting married.
But everybody has options.
Everybody wants them. They don't all have options.
Everybody.
And I repeat again, women, at least most women, if you are decent looking enough, there'll always be someone who wants to sleep with you.
What's decent looking?
It depends. Like I said, bitches in the eyes of the beholder.
Like us, we are decent looking.
Are we decent?
And when I say decent looking, I mean unless you are really, really ugly. You know? Yeah. Which is very rare. Which I think is very rare. So those options will always be there. But and see, the problem with the way women also communicate these messages, they mislead each other. Because a woman will tell you how much she has options, but she is single. The reason she is single is because nobody is willing to commit to stay with her in the long term. You can always have people you can date and so on. And that's what we mean by the post-war that you are referring to. It means you are able to get men who can sleep with you, but either you don't want those men or the ones you want don't want to make a long-term commitment.
Why would men not want to make a long-term commitment to a divorced woman who is in her 40s?
Good question. So now it goes back to what you asked me earlier. This divorced woman, most of them come with a lot of masculine energy. They want to question you. What time are you? Where have you been? What were you doing? Why are you? Very possessive, very clingy, very controlling. Men don't want that.
What do men want?
May I
Men
ask,
want cooperation.
married women don't ask that.
Hold on, Zippy.
Married women ask that.
Married women can ask that, but by that time, if you married, it depends on how long you've been married. Okay, but if you have a shared background, it's much easier compared to a woman who has dealt with another man, who has children from another marriage, and now you are trying to create this union together. But don't you see where
the contradiction is coming from? That later on, you are okay being asked those questions. Just don't ask me those questions right now.
No, it's not that you're okay or you're not okay. Yeah? You know, people normally settle into relationships. Now, when you're starting a new relationship with a woman and you get this energy, she wants to assert herself, you know, she's probably very successful in her career. She probably supervises men who she questions all the time, and she expects to handle you, her husband, in the same way. Remember last time I said, husband and wife, those are just roles. If she cannot fit into this role as a wife, the union is not going to survive.
So
older women struggle with that.
Yes, I don't want to forget this. Sorry, Zippy. So what do men want? Men don't want the masculine, being asked questions.
They don't want to be asked questions of where they are.
What do they want?
Men want cooperation. Basically, that's what we refer to as submission.
No, what is cooperation?
Okay.
Cooperation is submission. Like if you tell her, we are going to go to this place, she says yes, or if she has a proposal, she can propose it without being aggressive.
No.
or
Let's talk
masculine
about
it.
the time of coming home, because that was the main thing.
Yes.
So
Oh, it was the main thing. When did it become the main thing?
No, it was. Let me tell you, a lot of women are divorced inside marriage.
Okay.
Let me put it like that. You know, as we are divorced and we are out. Then there's those ones who are divorced. Like people have not had sex for a year plus and they're in the same marriage, you know.
Okay.
And it is because of this fear of coming out. So let's talk about, because those are some of the problems that people are having. People are not communicating. Men are coming home whatever time they want and they don't want to be asked.
Okay.
And women have asked until they have decided, live your life, I live my life. You get it? And a lot of people, so how is a man supposed to lead? Because women want to be told.
Okay.
You get it? She's a mother, nurturing. The nurturing nature of women is, I want to know where you are. Are you okay? I mean, if bomb blast ifanyike hapo, I want to know if you are there or not.
Okay, there's something. I don't support the idea of men coming late. By the way, I was just giving an example. But what women don't understand is this. You know, like when you're walking in the streets, or even when you're driving on the road and a policeman stops you, a policeman can ask you, you know, where are you going? Where is your driving license? Have you had something to drink? You know, the reason is because the policeman is a person who is in authority. Okay, so when you start asking your husband, where are you from, what were you doing, you're basically putting yourself in a state, in a place where you have higher authority than him, and that creates a
But
bit
that
of
happens because the man did not communicate. Why can't the men communicate? Hi, darling, I'll be
I am late.
I'll
Yes.
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 Men don't want to be asked and they don't communicate.
Okay, so now this is something you can determine when you're dating. I don't think it's something that you should start struggling with when you're married.
But
When this man doesn't want to be questioned, you'll be able to see it when you're dating. Women normally ignore these red flags. They get married thinking they can change the man, then they realize they cannot change the man.
May I still have a question? Why are we therefore assuming that all divorced women who are in their 40s
Who are not submissive.
are masculine,
Yes.
aggressive,
No.
and the reason they are not settling, no man wants them, it's because they have this masculine energy, and masculinity equals to umetoka wapi, mbona unakuja kwa nyumba saa
Okay.
hii?
That is
Or
just
can
one.
or can you finish for us before I forget?
Yes, that is one.
What men, these men, what
Yes,
do
that
they
is
want?
one. The other thing,
Yeah.
most men want to raise their own children. Okay? Many women who are divorced also have children of other men. Okay? Number three, many women who are older.
In fact, the
one,
thing is this, I want us to discuss this, not
Yes.
based on divorce, but based on marriages.
Yes.
Because I want us to come from the perspective that divorce is a result of a broken marriage. So let us discuss marriage, not divorce.
Good.
I don't know if you understand me.
Okay, so we discuss women
So
in
let's
their
discuss
40s.
let's discuss women in their 40s
Okay.
in marriage, because
one.
as far as I'm concerned,
Yes.
the rate of divorce right now is like around 17%. That is the
In
divorce
Kenya?
in Kenya, those who have left.
Okay.
But the ones inside,
Okay.
divorced inside, not having sex a year plus, not talking, people don't even like
Care.
mtu anajua tu huyo analipa fee na huyo anakula, hata hujui mtu anaishi aje,
Okay.
is higher.
Okay.
So let's talk about a man happily married who is trying to find control and a relationship and communication within the marriage. Because even as we're divorced, we are coming back to get married. You know?
Yes, that's
Yes.
okay. So what's the question? I need to understand the
Yes,
question.
So
The question
argue
is-
from a point, no, because when you say it, the men do not want to raise their children,
Yes.
children who are not theirs.
Yes,
no.
yes.
Let's talk about a man with a woman who have got like 3 or 4 children from the same marriage.
Or from the same marriage?
Yes.
So you're asking me what are marital issues, or what's your
Yes,
question?
what do men want in this
In those
marriage, which is
relationships.
not broken?
Why would you want to ask what men want? Are you saying there's something, everything women want is catered for or none? Because men also ask, what do women want?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I-
answer us, then we'll tell you
No,
what
me-
women want.
Yes.
So which one do you want me to
No,
answer?
me, I would want, Zippy, forgive me on this one. I would want the one, divorce, where a woman has been divorced, but you are saying there's a reason this woman who is divorced, there's a reason she's not able to easily settle down.
The problem I'm having in that question is
Yeah.
that Aliet is not divorced. And so his answer will be very biased. He needs to give us
That's
a
what I wanted
perspective
to
of
ask.
a married man.
That's what I wanted to ask. How do you know that men want to raise their own kids and they have a hard time raising kids from someone else?
That's a good question, but it also answers up to what she's proposing. You see, I don't have to be divorced for me to understand the perspectives of divorced men. I speak to divorced men every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I have groups of men who are divorced. I speak to men. I also research about divorce and how people deal with the trauma and the aftermath of divorce.
Okay.
So
Walk
I think
me
I can
through
have
that.
an opinion on
Yes. Then walk
There's
me through
difference
that
between
part.
having an opinion and living the experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then me still
Yeah, so
walk me through the part. Why what's wrong with someone coming in with another child?
yeah, I think this is just something that is hardwired in men. Men value paternity. And paternity basically is raising your own children. You want to be able to have your progeny, to basically extend your bloodline or your genes. And that is through having your own children. When you're raising another man's child, you're basically extending the bloodline of another man. It's something that's hardwired in us. You guys may not know, but if you look at the apes, like chimpanzees and gorillas, what normally happens, the alpha males, they're the ones that impregnate the females, and then the lower ranked males are the ones that raise those particular children. When the women are on heat, when the females are on heat, they go back to the alpha males to have sex, and it continues.
Before we go to alpha.
Let me bring this back to Africa.
Yes.
This problem of paternity is a modern problem. In fact, it's good we come from the same community.
Yes.
In our Luo community, the issue of whose children are being raised by who was never an issue. Let's start from there. As long as the woman is in your home and has bore any child, that is the child of the man of that home. And it was never a question. So some of these things, it is a modernity issue. Why are men suddenly very curious about who is the father of this child?
Shouldn't they be though?
No, you should accept the children in your home as yours. Because another woman, in reality, is also raising your own children in another home. Because
But Zippy, how practical is that? Because I think we just saw a story
no,
the
men
other
have
day.
Bangowa candles and men are having children outside wedlock. And their children are being raised by another man. Why is it a big deal?
No,
when
for
it is
all
here?
parties. I think
Yes.
it's more a big deal for the kids than even for the
That
parents.
is why it should not be a question. That is why children should be raised in the home.
Wamejipata.
Wamejipata. And these parents, and that is the traditional
I love
Africa.
this exchange.
Do
I'm
you-
just listening.
That is the traditional African
Do you
setup.
So
agree?
what Zippy is saying is not true.
Yes.
Okay,
In Luo,
uh-huh.
there's something, it's called Fuambokodi,
Yeah.
spreading the seeds. But it was something that was done when there was a problem in the family, like sickle cell, some genetic problem. Or if the man has a problem,
Or the man cannot reproduce.
yeah, and the mother knows, then the mother can actually advise the daughter-in-law to step out. But you see, for what you're saying to be true, it will actually mean that infidelity was either encouraged or enabled among
It was
Luo
not
culture,
encouraged or
which is not
enabled.
true.
There was polygamy.
Yes, polygamy.
And where there is polygamy, they say as long as you're having 3 or 4 women, you cannot service them every week. As
Yeah,
a
but
man.
you know,
Someone is helping
there
you.
are things people say around a fireplace or when they're speaking loosely in bars, but you cannot take them literally, because men kill other men when they find them in bed with their wives. It's not a small matter. So you cannot say that it was allowed
In
among
most
the laws.
polygamous homes,
Why would you
there is
take
always
cows?
that child that every adult knows it belongs to that other compound.
Yes.
that is being
neighbor.
brought
That is
here.
true. That happened, but it does not happen in all homes, and it is not the norm.
But I have a question. You said men have, it's in you not to want to raise another man's kid, right?
Yes.
But for example, say I'm your wife. It's an example. I come to you, but you had something going on with Zippy before, and Zippy has your child, right? Isn't that child going to be raised by another man?
Yes.
So why would you have a problem if roles changed? I also come with a child
Being raised
because
by
she
you.
left with a child. That child,
Why can't you have then all your children?
This is a good question. by
Yeah.
the way.
yes, because I'm thinking now what happens to the children? Because if she wants to move on, settle down with a man, you would want that man to take care. But you know she has your child, but she's out.
Actually, the only people, Lynn, who do
Yes.
that, it's only lawyers. Luyas are the ones who they pick all their children. But all the other Kenyan tribes, they cannot talk about not wanting to raise other people's children because men leave their children. Only Luyas, you will not go with their child. If a Luya man impregnates you, that child will be taken by the age of 3, actually.
Because I know there are a lot of people who are watching. Yeah. We have a lot of...
You guys have asked good questions. You need to give me time to answer.
Go on. It's a Jacob's show, guys.
Yeah, so I said I'll take you to school. So, the first thing is this, Lynn. Many women, most women, what women normally want is to get the best man that they can get. And what normally happens with women in the course of relationships, a woman can get married, she can date and all that. And they fall in love. They form attachments with men. Now, what happens, and this is an experience I get from many men, by the time you are playing stepfather, it's normally because the guy she was invested in got away. So we have something that we call buyer's remorse, where a woman settles with you because she wants the provisioning, ulipia watoto school fees, rent, and so on.
Figure.
Yeah, father figure, but not because she loves you.
I want to, just before,
you cannot be keep interrupting me.
Hold on.
I also want to have an example so that we don't ask it again.
Yes.
Please, don't always assume that women don't have money, because I want you to think
Provide
of women.
I also answer that,
primary school
but
teacher.
that's a separate question.
Yes.
I can also come to
Your
that.
examples are always
Because
making
you
it
see,
feel like women don't have anything.
Lynn, and I think I said this in the last show, even women who are rich, who are CEOs, who own their own companies, they want men who have more money than them. This research has done. Actually, the exact figure is, the average figure is women want men who earn at least 58% more than them. It is because women still they prioritize the money that the man is bringing.
But you've also talked in your book of women who have been CEOs in different organizations and they've settled for young men who had nothing.
No. We have some, but they are outliers. The norm is women always want men who have a higher value.
Okay.
That is what is called hypergamy. But I want to go back to your question. So, you see, if me, I have an ex-wife who has a child with me and I'm married, in a sense, for me, that is like having two wives. Okay? One is taking care of this child, one is taking care of this child. Now look at the woman now. When the woman has an ex, a baby daddy as they're called, and now there is this guy. First of all, she's settling with this guy because the other one did not work out. Okay? In many cases, and this is something you can see on social media, even if I put it on my wall, you'll see guys tell you, many men are normally frustrated when they marry single mothers because of this. You'll find one, if you are doing a blended family, many men complain that these women love their children more than the children they've actually had with her. It's because those are the children of the alpha, the other guy who left. That is problem number one. Problem number two, in many cases, you raise these kids very well. You know, live school fees. When they grow up, your value is gone. She doesn't need you anymore. And that is number two. The third one normally is they want you to be responsible for these kids in the sense that you attend the school meetings, sports day, you pay the school fees, you pay the rent, you guide them as a father. But when these kids start misbehaving, you cannot punish them. You say, don't touch my children. That's what we normally call responsibility without authority, which is like being a slave. Okay? Many men also don't want that. So those are some of the challenges that come with that. And then also, you also have, and this is something that has happened a lot. If this woman has daughters, okay? In many cases, when you have a fallout, this woman can accuse you of touching the daughter inappropriately. So men also have that risk when you get into a blended family situation. So there are a lot of risks that come with that. I have so many cases of men who, these kids, once they grow, they tell you, you're not my daddy, or they start looking for their father. Okay? So that happens a lot.
So what would you recommend?
To who?
To
About
the
what?
women who want to get into relationships with men and they have children.
The important thing, and that's why it's important to understand your sexual market value, because what happens is women become very delusional about their value. As she has said, you're the same Zippy. You're the same Zippy now as you were when you were 23.
Yes.
You're the same person.
Women don't change.
Yeah, you are not. No, your personality has not changed. Your identity is the same.
Yes.
But in terms of your beauty, it is not the same.
She's more beautiful.
It's more beautiful.
Yeah, whether you're beautiful or not.
She's become more
so
beautiful.
women need to understand that even men A man who is broke, he knows he's broke. He's not going to conduct himself like he's the richest guy around. So first of all, women need to understand that beauty declines with age. You need to know your value, and you also need to know what this particular man is doing when he chooses to marry you together with your children.
But I think Zippy is more
But the thing
beautiful.
is this, when it comes to beauty, I will not even talk about that because
Yes.
me, when I look at my photos, I'm like, thank God. In fact, I meet people, they're like, you're not aging. But the thing is, one thing I feel you are not really giving as an answer to is, yes, the men may not want to raise those children for whatever reasons. But what happens in real life right now, in a real marriage? That's why if we keep Aliet to talking about divorced, then that is where it comes to the fact that, okay, why do you insult women when advising men?
How do I insult women?
By saying we are not high value, because that is why I
That's
want
not
you...
an insult. It's it's an evaluation you can either agree with or
No,
disagree with.
this word actually
but
you
I'm
use
thinking-
delulu. We are delulu.
You are delusional.
Yeah.
Why do you want to imagine that we are delusional about finding love and getting married again? Why is it a delusion? Why don't you believe in that?
You know, the delusion is based on the results that you get. If you're getting love, then you're not delusional.
Yeah,
Are you getting love?
we are getting love.
Because if you're getting
And you know,
love,
some of us, by the way, a lot of these divorced women, some of us, we say, like, let me say Zippy. I don't date married men. It's something I think even my friends know. When they try to hook me up, they just know, hey, if it's married, you are Chana. Zippy does not date married men, you know. And I know quite a number of us were like that. Because we say, in this whole trajectory, there are those divorced, and those widows, and those senior bachelors. You get what I mean? So when we talk about the issue of women's value, because you've said apart from the age, apart from the biology, all those women who are at that age of 20-something, Jacob, no matter what they do, they will grow and they will grow older, whether they are in marriage or
And they
not.
will-
yes.
And so when we want to talk about women's value, for me, I think it will just be easier to cap it to say women's value cannot be pegged on the biological clock.
That is, okay, you see now, and I go back to economics. Who decides what a woman's value is?
You are the one who's deciding us so
It is
far.
the men who decide.
Yes.
Okay?
Why though?
And the
Not the
it's
men,
based on
Jacob.
biology.
Why
It's
would you-
biology.
But-
People grow old.
But
So are the
Even
men,
men,
you are the
even men are in
your
their
students
20s.
are answering.
Even men in their 20s.
Your student is saying something.
Yes.
a
You are the
man's
one-
value is not changing. It's a woman's value that's declining, but a man's value is increasing.
Wait. Even men in their 20s are very broke and they are frustrated. And these women that they want the wababas, as we call them. Okay? And they cannot compete with the wababas. They really are getting frustrated. You see, that is a fact of life. So the thing is, what we are trying to tell women, you need to recognize that when you're in your 20s, that is the point at you're in your peak sexual market value. Use it well. Take advantage of it. Start a family, settle down. Don't wait until you're in your 40s.
But
then
now-
that's
But
when you
now
want to
you
start
are
a family.
Let me
telling
ask you
them-
something. No. You want a 22-year-old
go
because you are
to the
encouraging the 20.
No.
Hold on. You are encouraging the 22-year-old to afikirie sana. This is the right place for her to settle down.
use their youth.
Use their youth. Get kids na nini. Let's be realistic. A 22-year-old right now is doing what? They're in uni.
Yeah, they're in
See,
school.
they're in uni.
Yes.
So by the time you are telling me this is the age I need to settle down, I'm not even financially stable. I might not even have a job. I
They
might
don't
not
know even the capacity of wealth they can
sijui,
create.
sijielewi. I'm saying, nikikumbuka when I was in my 20, that's when you actually like unajaribu to opportunities here and there, right? Then me now, I need to go for a 40-year-old. The question is, utaniweka?
Listen, we should not misunderstand each other. First of all, I'm not saying a 22-year-old should get married.
But what you are
But
telling
that
them
is
this
they are
is the
using
time
their
they
youth.
need
How are they
to.
supposed
This
to use
is the
their
time
youth?
they need to use their youth.
No.
But you will not be intimate and not be pregnant.
Wait.
Aliet, hold on 1 second. If we, that's what we are telling the 22-year-old.
No.
So how should they use their
I'm
youth?
saying no.
Before,
Okay, let
hold
him
on.
tell us how they are using their should use their
let
youth.
me say the whole thing, then you can answer. what are you telling these 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old to do? What's using their youth? This is that you've just said few seconds back. Na usiende kuniandika kwa Facebook ati Lynn is not well grasped with what I was saying. Nimesema something you've said. I'm just taking you back.
Yeah, so obviously.
For example, Dama, Dama, you are 20? Dama is 25.
Yes, that's a peak age.
Good, let's use Dama.
25 is good.
What is she supposed to be doing with her life
what she needs
now?
to do is to recognize her situation.
Okay.
What she does with it now, it's a decision. She needs to recognize that at this particular point, she's at her peak sexual marketplace value.
So apate mtoto.
Now she has options. By the way, you don't need to go for the 40-year-olds. 40-year-olds will come for you. 20-year-olds will come for you. 30-year-olds will come for you. It is you to decide. Okay. They will all come for you because you are attractive, you're beautiful.
Good.
You are at your prime.
Yes.
Yes. So now it is you to decide.
Okay.
I'm not saying you go for a 40-year-old.
No.
But if you want, you go for
Whichever
it.
the case,
Yes.
But the younger
she's
men
to
don't
decide.
have money.
Yeah, she's to decide.
I know there are a lot of 25-year-olds who are watching. What is she supposed to decide?
She needs to realize that is at the time when she's at her peak marketplace.
I
sexual
am
marketplace
So
value.
give her the 5 options.
So,
Even top 5 of
now-
these
Give
you
her.
can do.
She's watching. Dama is watching. Dama, tell her.
I tell her to do what?
The 5 things,
The
options
thing
that she
she
has.
No,
needs to
no.
be doing as a
You see,
25-year-old.
She has time between 25 and 27 because we normally say now from 29 you should have gotten married at least by 20. She has some time.
Confuse wasichana.
She's from
Kutoka
29.
22 to 25, then to 27.
It's good at least
Because you
wameongeza
see,
age.
you have to. It is still a biological fact. At between in your early 20s, that is when you have
Apate
your eggs
mtoto.
are of the best
Sindio?
quality. She doesn't have to get a child. She just need to realize that in many cases, if you're graduated, you can get a job, you can settle at that age. Yeah.
The question
But if she
was,
gets a job, she will not be able to get a good man because of
men
hypergamy.
men don't want.
No, but she.
Yes, because
a
we
woman,
need
a
men.
25-year-old woman who is working has just started a career.
No, but Jacob, the same thing. If you're saying that she needs to get a job and plan. So let me say even at 27. Right now, I know quite a number of women at 27 who are even having companies doing really big exploits because that is like almost 5 years after graduation. So 5 years after graduation, women are more successful than men.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
also-
in
But
most
some are,
instances,
some are,
a lot of
some are.
times.
Zippy,
It is after 10 or 15 years is when men are more successful. But after the first 5 years,
Yes.
most women are more successful.
Yes.
So if you look at it at that age of 27,
If she's 27, she can get men in their 40s and have a very good
now
marriage.
you have already said that she needs to make her prime. So if the man in her 40s, you want to assume that this man has never married a man in his 40s.
he's just
What has his being married have to do with anything?
No, because that's why I want us to talk about men who we are talking about healthy relationships.
no, but
Not
because-
divorced and undivorced.
Let me
We're
answer
talking about
that
the
for you.
40-year-old man and 27-year-old
Let
man
me-
getting married.
Let me answer
Yeah.
that for you because Aliet said right now, even in the marketplace, a 40-year-old, if you put a 40-year-old woman here and a Dama. So, for example,
Dama wins hands down.
who is, yes, Dama
The
wins.
question is, I want something to be very clear, especially for my viewers, which they don't understand with Jacob and is not clarifying yet.
Yes.
One, who is a high-value man? Because when you talk about a 40-year-old man, according to our audiences, he should be single to be able to get the 27-year-old man.
Yes.
But according to explanation, which we always see, is that you say a high-value man is an alpha man who can get a new man because he has got a lot of money. And in this case, like you have just said, who said he must be married. It means that if he's 40 and is looking for a woman who's 25, it means he's cheating. So a cheating man is a high-value man. That's what we always get from your...
No, I've never said that.
So
you know, you don't say it.
who is a high-value man?
But you say it indirectly.
Hold on.
So he's a
who is
high-value man.
high-value man?
A high value can be attained through many channels or views. You can be high value by having a lot of money or property. Okay. You can also be high value by being charismatic.
In the sexual marketplace?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. If you are a very charismatic person, you can still be high value. Okay. You can also be high value just by having status. Maybe you are from a family that is considered to be of high pedigree and so on. So all those will confer high value to you. And when you're high value, of course, a lot of women are going to be attracted to you because women go after value.
For the women, you've given us the age on
For the
when
men,
women
yes.
are on their prime. For
Yeah.
the men,
Most men, they hit their financial stride between their mid-30s and late 40s.
so that's when a man is
So
high
that's when
value.
That's when a
marry.
man is at his
Aya.
peak value.
So that's when he
Mumenileta,
should
But
marry.
only if he stays at a trajectory of growth.
mumenileta.
No,
Okay.
no, no. We are
There are
talking
men who
about
are in their
positives
40s,
only.
but they are drunkards.
Yes, let's talk about. I want us
Yes.
to talk
So
about 40s. I
Yes,
mean,
that's when he should
as an
marry.
educator, we deal with statistics.
That is when he should marry.
Yes.
40s.
But he should also only marry also once he understands.
So a man should marry at his 40s.
No.
A man should marry at his mid-30s.
Yeah, mid-30s.
Good.
So men who
onwards.
marry between 25 to 32 are marrying too early.
Yeah, they're marrying too early.
Okay, good.
So men in their mid-30s should marry women 10 years younger at 25.
Yeah, the age gap is up to you, but if it can be longer, it can. If it's too long, of course, it becomes a problem. You don't want to have a situation where you have generational problems.
So, but the other question which you have not answered, what happens if you marry this woman at 25 and she becomes extremely successful
Okay.
at 35, 40?
So now it depends on how she handles success. There's some people it doesn't get into their heads. There are people it gets into their heads.
No. Why
also
isn't it
what
about
happens-
how the man treats her?
If it can also, you see, a man can treat you even badly even if you're not successful. So
No. So
you cannot attribute it to success.
I have a
So
question.
let's talk about
hold on.
how a man can treat you badly even if you're successful or not. But the thing I'm changing is, it is not about how she carries herself. It's about how the man treats her, because it's all you all like talking about a man's ego. It's all about the man's ego. Yes.
In your book,
No matter how, let me just finish. No matter how how successful or not successful you are, you can't change a man's ego. If a man has a small ego, it does not matter what you do. He will always feel intimidated.
That is what women say, but I need to address that by the way. This is a very important point.
Go on.
Women always say that men have an ego.
Not all men, some men.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to be very clear about this. Between men and women, it is men who don't have an ego. Men are very submissive. And let me tell you why. If you look at organizations, workplaces, you know, when women enter the workplace, women are the ones who brought egalitarianism, and they were saying, you know, this organization structure is too tall, we need to flatten it. They want people to be equal. If you look at the military, men follow ranks. And once a man is of lower rank, he submits to his boss. He doesn't question. So that tells you men have no issue with submission. Men don't have an ego. If men had an
Submission
ego,
to men.
if men had an ego, they will not be able to operate in dominance hierarchies or competence hierarchies. But men are able to do that. And even when you find, when you look at women in the workplace, a lot of research has been done on this. When you have a female boss, many women complain about female bosses compared to male bosses. Okay.
Many
now,
women.
back to the ego.
But
Back to the
men
ego thing.
also
Wait, let me
don't
answer this
submit
question.
to female bosses.
They should submit to females.
But-
Wait,
No.
wait. I need to answer this
go on.
question.
Okay.
There are many people, and one example was Kaka. There's a footballer called Kaka,
yes.
whose wife left him because he was too perfect. Okay? And women have this problem where when they have a relationship with a man who does not bring drama, he doesn't cheat, he doesn't abuse her, they feel there's something wrong with this particular relationship.
Yes.
And they leave. So it is not the case that women always leave the relationship because the man had an ego and so on.
Most
and so forth.
women leave. Let me talk about Kenya. I don't read American. In Kenya, a lot of divorce rates, according to you. What is the highest reasons for divorce rates?
The highest reason, what I've seen, normally it's financial problems. It is number one. And of course, the second one is abuse.
So
Emotional
what
or
does
physical.
financial problems? Is it financial abuse or lack of finance?
A lack of finance on the part of the man.
But now come back to me.
A lot of the married
Zippy?
divorces
Yes.
come because of first emotional abuse
Okay.
and then
Aliet,
physical abuse.
I have a question.
We'll come to that.
Let's go back to Dama. She's 25.
Yes.
In your book, Unplugged One, you gave an example where this guy who was doing really well in the bank went and got himself a very beautiful young girl. Let's call this girl Dama from Ushago. Well-mannered, submissive, very young, comes with her. And then he says, let me support this woman. She has a bright future, takes her to college. the woman ends up getting a good job, the man ends up losing his job. Let's say this man was around 35. He's in his prime. This is his high value moment right there. So around 35 to 40. This young girl, Dama, is now around 25. Before that she's already doing well. And she could not entertain the thought of knowing she will continue life with a man who has nothing, right? Because I know there are a lot of young women who are going to watch this and they will fall in the hands of men who are financially stable, and then something happens. Do you think that was the right foundation for being even in a relationship in the first place? Because there's pressure, your sexual market value is now, this is the time you need to figure out your life. And then something happens, she becomes more, what you say, independent, and she can't deal with this man right now.
I still don't know what the question is.
The question is, if you encourage women, because if this woman had figured out her life, she has a job, figures out her life, then she knows, do I want to be with this man? This is the kind of man I want to be with. And this man had even gone for a woman, wakuwe tu pamoja, like equal, pia mwenye akona kazi, mwenye anajaribu kuji. If the woman he found was, if Dama was in her 30s trying to build herself financially, don't you think the chances were they would have survived because walipatana kwa field?
Yeah, that is true. And we tell guys, okay, I normally don't advise women, but we advise guys that you should not marry a woman who is, you have a great disparity between the two of you in terms of income particularly. We normally call them economic refugees, where you marry a woman from a humble background, unasomesha siblings, unajengea wazazi wake. In many cases, it doesn't end up well. Yeah. So that happens a lot.
And that is both ways.
Yes, and that's both ways.
Yeah, it happens both ways, but for different reasons. Yeah.
So what happens when a man's sexual market value decreases and the woman he married, her finances go up?
What normally happens is hypergamy kicks in. Yes. The woman feels that she's in the wrong relationship and she wants to look for a better man. Yeah. And that's okay.
And that's okay. It is not okay.
It is okay. You see, the problem is
okay.
Many women, people think it's not okay because they don't understand female nature. So a woman, most women will fabricate issues like they want to become disrespectful in the house.
Yes.
Then the man becomes abusive. Then she says, I left because he was physically abusive, you know. But if you just understood that, okay, now, you know, this is not the best marriage for me because I feel I'm not getting the value. This guy is no longer able to take responsibility, cannot pull his weight. And as a woman, I don't feel I should be doing this. You just be honest and walk out of the marriage instead of coming up with fabricating reasons.
I think that is where I bring you back every time. Your perception in your head is all divorced women left because they were not submissive and then the man became abusive. And you say it's a learning process. Aliet, it is very important to understand that there is absolutely no reason whatsoever for any person, man or woman, to be physically abusive to another person.
And I did not say that.
No, you have just said
that is why women.
You have said right now, a few
marriages.
seconds ago, that women, some of these women, they were not submissive, so the man became physically abusive.
No.
You have said
I didn't even use the word submission.
Replay that.
Yeah, I didn't even use the word
just-
submission.
You
I
say
say
it
they
was-
become disrespectful.
Yes, you
Yeah.
said disrespectful.
I said disrespectful.
And then the man
And then
gets...
And then the
man
man becomes abusive.
Physically
So the
I'm
thing
not
is
justifying
physical,
it.
No, you're just justifying
I'm not
physical
justifying
abuse.
it. I'm not
There's
justifying it.
absolutely no reason why anyone should be physically or even emotionally abusive. I will take your last words that for whatever reasons, if you are not happy with somebody, just walk out.
Yeah.
But these issues of it, because they did this, because this happened, those are not reasons.
I agree
There's
with
no
you.
reason.
I agree
Yes.
with you, but you see, that is just me and you. Life plays out there. And
And that
there
is
are-
why
there are
we
many
need to
reas-
tell
there are many
people,
women-
we need to tell people that if things have gotten to that limit where you have started disrespecting each other and you can no longer communicate and come to an agreement, even with the help of friends and relatives, then it's time to go out.
That is
Because
true.
if you talk about it becoming disrespectful leads to physical abuse, and so that's why somebody goes out, that is totally not even reason. In fact, 80% of divorced women, I'll not say all, 80% of divorced women were the most submissive you could ever find. In fact, the most submissive, those ones who wake up at 2 a.m. akina zipi tukuku gali at 2 a.m. Let me put it like that. Like that kind of respect of not even questioning.
But you know, Zippy, one thing you have to be clear about.
Yes.
All divorced women always say the man is a bad person.
Not all.
All of them.
That's why I've said 80%.
I've never found a divorced woman who says, by the way, me, I was just an alcoholic and I was not able to become...
You have not. We have. We have.
There are some.
In fact, even right now, I can tell you there are people who say, I made a mistake. Yes.
Okay.
They are there.
But they are not there. They are very few. They are
Yes,
very
that
few.
is why
They are very
80%
few.
is
They are
because
very
we are in a
few.
patriarchal society.
few.
So a lot of times it's women, because of the same things, hypergamy and all that kind of stuff, women marry into those families where they don't have a voice. And so they are always abused more than men. So there are men who get abused, but most instances women are more abused.
I agree. That is true.
Yeah.
That is
So
true.
when they are abused, let's not bring it because they were disrespectful, because most of the women who are divorced, they were the most submissive.
Okay,
And
I
if
don't
you
know.
do not, yes, you may
I
not
don't know
know.
if there's a research that is showing that.
No.
Yes.
There's a research because
There
there
is
groups which we can tell you.
There's research.
There's research.
Yeah.
In fact, the most submissive.
Because you see,
in fact, they say the more you
there
love
was
a
a-
man,
Zippy.
the more he disrespects you.
there was a time your
But-
argument will have
Yes.
weight, but not anymore. Huh?
Oh, this is the time it is having.
because of the case of Johnny Depp, whose wife was
That's again
accusing
another American.
of
Give me a
divorce.
Kenyan. We are
So-
having high rate of divorce in Kenya. And
Kenyan.
you're
Okay, I can't
speaking
mention
to
names,
Kenyans.
but
Yes.
but,
Yeah, without
but let me
examples.
give you an example.
Yes.
This lady was a TV presenter, and she accused the husband of being a womanizer and an alcoholic and so on. And she was interviewed by True Love. Okay, when this man came on YouTube and gave his side of the story, it turned out to be the opposite. In fact, the video was taken down.
I know the person
Yeah.
you're
I know
talking
the
about.
person.
So what
Yeah.
happens in most of these divorces or marriages that break up, normally it's the women who come out to say why it happened. Most men keep quiet, but it does not always mean the men are the villain. It's just because women like playing victim. Okay?
No,
And
those are the words I don't want you
justify.
to use.
Yes.
I accept some of your words. Like it happens to men too. But I do not accept the words of women playing the victim.
Why?
Because those are stigmatizing words to anyone. It's like saying HIV is a killer. You get what I mean? So actually, Aliet, I agree with you in a lot of things, by the way, the things you write. I just don't always agree with how you choose to teach people.
Yeah, because you see, for example, these are things now that are there even in social media. I was even watching another video yesterday by a Nigerian lady who was saying that the reason she accused someone of sexual assault was because she was engaged and she could not allow her fiancé to realize that she has cheated. And you know, these things happen a lot. And even in the state, there are people who've gone to prison accused of sexual assault. And it turns out later it was just a lie because the lady could not be honest about it. So the victimhood is something that is a fact of life.
That one happens, but we should not say that it is women who are playing victim.
But
is
men,
women
I
who
think
play
it's a general code.
Even
I think
men play
it's-
victim a lot.
It's in
Men don't play
Even
victim. That's
men
why
play
men
victim.
suffer
Men
in
do
silence.
men do
No.
what?
That's why men commit suicide the most.
Oh, women
Yes.
do.
No.
Women are committing
You cannot
suicide.
compare the rate of suicide
the
of men
rate
and
of
women.
suicide for men is higher.
Even
It's
women
higher.
and women,
Yeah.
but
And it's
women are
because
killing
men,
themselves.
men
Women
the way
are being killed.
the way we are culturated. It is
Yeah.
true. Women are killed. I'm just talking about suicide. Okay, it's because men tend to keep their sufferings to themselves, their struggles to themselves. Women emote more. They verbalize
But
and
how
they're
many
extroverted.
women suffer in comparison? Let me say, because
relationships.
if we are now going to say it comparing, because women generally suffer more and we take in more and all that kind of stuff. How many women are being abused in comparison to the men who are being abused?
This is what is called the Victimhood Olympics.
No,
Men
no,
cannot
no.
win. When you
No,
want to
no.
compete with a woman
You
about
said
who is the more
women.
victim, a woman will always win.
No.
Okay,
And in
let's
fact, it does not augur well when a man tries to become a victim more than the woman.
No. It's because.
I'll let you take
but
the
it
gold
is-
medal
no,
for
no,
that
no.
one.
It is because you are preaching a masculinity
Yes.
frame, and men are, and that is one of the things that I believe is making men end up suicidal. Because if I can't speak about it, because if I speak about it, I'll be a simp. Yeah. So then what do? I'd rather kill myself than become a simp.
Yeah, but that's not what a simp is. But back to your question, what I was
Okay, what is
answering
a
was...
simp?
What I was answering
No. What is
was...
a
What's a
simp?
simp?
Educate us.
A simp basically is someone who we normally compare a simp to a gentleman. A gentleman is someone who respects themselves and they also respect other people.
And so what do they do to show that respect?
Wait, you want me to tell you what a simp is?
Yes!
Oh, you've forgotten. So let me
That's
tell you
what I
what a
want you to
simp
tell
is.
us.
Okay, let him finish.
So a gentleman respects himself and they respect others. A simp only respects women. He does not care about himself. Okay? So when you say that a man is simping, that means he prioritizes the needs, the honor, and the thoughts of a woman
And
compared
what's
to his
wrong
own.
with
Yeah.
that?
What's wrong with that is women don't like simps.
Okay.
Yeah, women want men who can lead, men that they can respect, men that they can follow.
Question that my audience has.
Yes.
Your audience has questions.
They have questions.
Yes.
My inbox
God.
is full.
Bring
I'm
it
ready
on.
for all of
Bring
them.
it on.
Yes.
Jacob,
Bring it
you
on.
say a man should not treat a woman like a queen. This I think is the first question that
Yeah, I think
yes.
this is important because
Yes.
Lynn put it in the clickbait.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, so
Which one? Which
see the one
clickbait?
for the show we
But
had.
you're on the thumbnail. See
You know
clickbait.
that-
You
it's a
said you
clickbait.
should not treat
Because
a
people are
woman
saying,
like
hey, who is this?
What did you
Who
want?
is this saying that women should not be treated like
But
queens?
isn't
Yeah.
it the truth though?
Queens should be treated like queens. A woman is a woman, and a queen is a queen. A queen is royalty. And you see, when you're saying a woman should be treated like a queen, what you're trying to say is that by virtue of being a woman, she is already a queen. And yet, some of these women, they have no honor, they have no dignity, they have children from multiple men, they don't respect themselves.
They don't come from royalty.
Yeah, and they don't come from royalty.
But if
so
you choose her, hasn't she
most
become your
times,
queen?
no, most times
Yes.
when men are being told to treat women like queens, they don't demand the same from the women. Okay, it's normally one way. It's like basically worshipping women, and that's what I was saying. A man should not do that. Respect women, treat them with dignity, but you don't have to treat them like royalty. Normally, when men treated the way queens are treated, you kneel before them, you kiss their rings, and so on and so forth. But that should not be the case. How are you going to lead a woman if you are kneeling in front of her and teaching her like a queen? A queen is a leader.
No. The
Okay?
thing is this. For me, in my perspective, only a king can identify a queen.
Okay.
And of course, kings don't kneel before queens. You get what I mean? But every king should treat their woman like a queen if they are kings.
Okay.
So it starts from the man. Just
Now,
the same way
this
you
is,
said
this
the
is
head
important.
and
By the way, this
yes.
is very important. I need to address this. And this is part of what we get from feminism. You know, among men, not everyone is a king. And men know that.
Yeah.
You merit. It's something that you actually, you become a king through meritocracy. You have to be dominant in a certain area, or you have to have the bloodline of kings. Okay? But you see, women are egalitarians. They don't care about merit. Everyone is equal. And that's why for women, every woman is a queen. So you see, for men, and that's why men work hard. That's why men chase championships. A man wants to be the winner. He wants to be the top dog, as we call them. That's how men respect each other. You're respected because of merit. But women don't do that.
No,
you
but
know, women have the
as a
sisterhood.
woman,
So, so when you tell men that only a king respects a queen, what if he's not a king?
the thing is this. It's not. We're not talking about king of the whole village.
Yes.
He is my king. I am his queen. Because he's also not a king of the women who are queens in that
So
village.
why shouldn't he treat you like his wife instead of treating you like a queen?
Because his wife is a queen. So that's the word.
Oh, so you're just
You are the
glorifying.
one. You are the
You're
one
just
who used that word.
glorifying.
No. We're using that word because you used it.
No. She's the one who brought it up.
No. You
Yes.
said women should not be treated like queens. You said it in your interview.
Lynn is the one who said men should treat women like queens.
That's on me.
Yes.
That's on me though. I
Yeah.
asked him.
So
Is it on me?
yeah, but you know, and listen, part of it is just being narcissistic.
Yes.
Because why should you be treated like a queen? You're a normal human being. You know, you don't have, you don't live in a palace. You know, why should you be treated like a queen? People need to just accept their stations in life and stop this issue of being delusional.
Good.
Because even the man, he understands he's not a king.
Delulu.
He has to go to job, he reports to a boss, he can be fired. You know, you can't tell him he's a king, and yet he knows he's not a king.
So
So
stop
men live
calling
in
each other
reality.
my king.
Yeah, men live in reality.
So,
So
when
they
women
You
should
call
not
can
be
you
called
can
my
call
king,
each other
so-
your king in the bedroom if you want.
But that
Yeah,
is them.
but it has no value.
It's still
It
the
It
adds
adds
no value.
value.
It adds value.
It adds
So it's
value.
like,
I mean, that is
drama.
why our men go to Uganda, because the women make them feel like kings.
No.
It is not about whether he'll be fired tomorrow,
That
but
is-
in his house,
that
in
is-
this house,
that is just
whether he
submission.
is fired or not,
is
Good,
just
but
he's a
submission.
king.
let's go back to simping. You've said women don't like men who simp.
Yes.
And I think in your book, one of the things I wanted you to be able to define to our audience, because you said a lot of, you call them beta or beta?
Better.
Yes, a lot of beta males are raising alpha children from alpha males, and they
Okay.
have no idea.
Stepfathers. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they are stepfathers, and they have no
The
idea.
cuckolded men, yes.
Okay,
It's
so
called cuckoldry.
who are beta men and who are alpha men?
Okay.
And who are you?
When you are a beta male, I said we don't get personal.
You know, I think it's that thing of like, you know, extrovert, introvert. So you are an extra intro.
Introvert.
So he's a better alpha.
So
Go on, Aliet.
a beta male is basically a man who is not aware of his biological and sexual imperatives. And therefore, he can actually set them aside in the interest of either a woman or another man. That's what we call a beta male. An alpha puts himself first, and he does not prioritize the needs of others at the cost of his own needs. So that's the difference.
Okay.
So in other words, a beta male will be very happy to play stepfather and spend his resources raising the child of another man. He will have no problem with that because he does not realize that as a man, you should love your own children and raise them, because that is how you spread your bloodline. Yeah. There are people who fought so hard, your ancestors fought so hard so that you can be here. And yet you want to simp and raise another man's child. You're basically letting down all the people who came before you.
But-
they shouldn't be here, in other words.
But this alpha male, who does he
Most of these
expect?
alpha males.
Himself, he should do it.
Okay.
Yeah, he should do it.
Yeah, because I feel like they should be held
yeah,
accountable.
yeah.
Like, because at the end of the day, if a beta male is bringing up a child that it's not its work, it's from an alpha male.
Yeah, you know, the society has just been so civilized such that even men who have low value can have children with women and other men can raise them. But in our natural state, it will only be the alpha male who have that privilege of having children with women that they don't raise.
Would you encourage men to be alphas?
Men should be alphas, absolutely.
So are people born alphas or they become?
You can become an alpha, you can also be born an alpha.
So is it a problem to be a beta?
It is a problem to be a beta because you're basically becoming an agent to be used by other people. You're not working in your own self-interest.
Okay. When you talk about high value men, according to what you do, I'll come back to this because the high value men in your description are rich men, men who've made it through, you
Men
said,
of status, men who are charismatic.
and
Who put
and a lot
themselves
of
first.
women, they are highly
Yes.
approached by women or they highly approach women.
Yeah, women find them attractive.
Women find them attractive. So anytime they hit on women, they can easily get sexual favors.
Sometimes, if there are men who are aware of their value, there are men who are of high value, but they don't know what their value is.
Oh, but let's say the few who try and hit it, they do that, and they have children outside, right?
Some do, yes?
Well, quite a
What's
number
the
of
question?
them do.
What's the question? Even
is-
low value men have children outside wedlock.
let's talk about the alpha. Let's not talk about the betas. Let's talk. I like talking about the positive, like
Yes,
rich
yes,
women,
yes.
rich men.
Yes. Okay.
So when this man has got that child, who should raise his child when he has got that child outside?
I think that question should be answered by him. Should I answer that question?
You should.
I don't even know who it is.
No. Of
It's
course,
a hypothetical.
Exactly. You said we are not
Yeah.
naming names.
Yeah, it's a
This is
hypothetical.
an example.
Yeah,
as
because-
a man who's championing
Okay.
masculinity.
Yeah, now,
Who should raise children?
let me talk to the men.
By men
Please
Let me
talk
answer
to the
that
men.
question.
had out of wedlock.
Let
Let
me
him.
answer the question.
Let
You
him.
know, in prison, most men who are in prison are alphas. Okay? Because alphas are also very aggressive. They can be physically violent because they want to dominate. They don't want to be slighted. The reason also alphas, they're characterized by offspring abandonment, which is what you're talking about, is because they have a lot of options. So many women want them. Okay? So they'll sleep with this woman, makes her pregnant. I think there's a
And they are very
there's a
fertile.
reggae artist who was on social media this week. He has 38 children and he wants more.
Yes.
With all this, even DMX, when DMX died, he had so many children all over the place. Yeah, so it is just because of the way we are living now. You cannot have a harem of women and raise all those children and so on. So that's why they abandon their offsprings.
So that
But
still
it
makes
also
him
it comes at a cost.
But so,
does it still make him a high value man?
he may not be a high value man. High value and alpha are not the same. You can be high value, but you're not alpha. Like Will Smith is high value, but he's a beta male.
So we better have better males.
So what's...
Yeah, women. Okay, now let me also answer that.
Yeah.
It's better to have a high value beta male ladies.
And this is something many women don't understand. The men that women find attractive, the man who has a job, a family man who is faithful and who is stable and loyal, that is a man that you find attractive. Most of them are beta males. Okay? Then there's a man that women find desirable. Desire and attraction are not the same. And that is why you'll find these women, if you look at the advice that Sheryl Sandberg, the former CEO of Google, was giving to young women, she was telling young women to sleep around the way they want. And then when they're in their 30s, they look for a man they can settle with. Now, that man you can settle with is normally a beta male. Okay. Now, what happens with the women is that beta male,
you are saying to
yeah,
many people.
that beta male who you find very attractive and he gives you security, he is what we'd say he provides you with parental investment and provisioning and protection. Women normally find him not attractive. Women find the so-called bad boys or the alphas attractive. And that is why many, many women, they cuckold these beta males. And so what I'm trying to educate men is to understand that the fact that you're attractive does not mean you're desirable, because women will come for what you have. It doesn't necessarily mean that they actually find you desirable. So you'll find that there are so many women who are married, but they have children out of wedlock. But these are with the alpha males, because women also want to have children who are strong, who have of good genetic stock.
So let me ask.
Yeah.
So what's there for an alpha male? I can't see where he gets to.
What is there?
What's there for an alpha
males
male?
are not
very
good
good.
men.
Let me answer the question.
Clearly, as
Hold
you're
on,
saying,
hold
alpha
on,
males are not
because
good.
They're very
number
good.
one,
No, they're not.
It's contradicting
From
because
your explanation, they're not.
let me say
Okay.
let me say why it's contradicting. Me, I'm saying it in a layman's language. So you have this alpha male who is desirable. So me as a woman, assuming you are my husband, you give me security, I find you attractive, hatuna drama. You are the guy I want to bring my family around. You are the guy I want you to raise my kids. There is the guy who makes me shy, you know, nataka tu kwenda, alafu nimalizane, nirudi kwa my beta male.
Now we are together.
See, we are together until there.
I'm very happy.
No, see, we are together.
Yes.
So the reason why I'm feeling for, because we are advocating that men should be alpha.
They should not be alpha. Ladies, from the description,
Wait, you
men
talk to
should
your
not be
followers
alpha.
later.
Hold on.
Wacha tumalize
You
kwanza.
wacha tumalize followers.
There's no other show. It is this show.
Because now, here we are championing for our men to be alpha. But for me, the part now filia sorry is, if women know, all I want you to do is A, B, C, D. Then I go to my better man. At the end of the day, I can't see where the alpha male is winning.
Okay.
They are losing. You won't, I can't settle with you. I desire you, but you are not the one I want to raise a family with. So you'll find that this same alpha male that we are saying should seek for high value women, dama, they are the alpha male. Me as a woman who is enlightened, I cannot do what? I can't settle with. Then they will go and impregnate nani? Dama. Then Dama will discover, kumbe the guy I have here is a
better man.
He's an
alpha.
F-boy.
Yes.
He's an F-boy.
Yes, exactly.
This guy can't raise a family na yeye.
Tuko pamoja
Then
sasa.
Dama now in her 35
She looks
years,
for a better male.
she looks for a
We call them
better
beta male providers.
male provider. Which at the end of the day you said, women love security. Women put their interest first. Women want to make sure that they are raising their kids.
And
that is patriarchy. That is not even
so at the end
an
of
initial
the day,
feminism, by the way.
Because there is a place you said, Aliet, you know, when we are advocating for men to be better male, you even said you encourage them to be arrogant in your book.
Yes.
Call her thrice. Let her call you 3 times. Call her 2 times. Nikusome?
Me, I've not denied. I've not denied. I'm waiting for the question so that I can answer it.
At the end of the day, we encourage
You're asking
men.
what is there for alphas.
What is there for an alpha?
Si sasa mwache nijibu ama unataka
Jibu.
kuongea.
Mimi sijauliza swali. You people have not allowed me to ask questions.
I'm coming to you.
Okay,
Aliet, what's there for an alpha?
First of all, in the society, about 80% of men are betas. Okay? If you are to draw a normal graph, the alphas will be on extreme ends. Okay? These people were in prison and so on, and then most of our leaders,
Yes.
they are alphas. Being an alpha normally means being dominant in your field.
Yes.
It means that you're very driven to dominate, to succeed, and
you
so
are
on.
desirable.
Yeah, that makes you desirable.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not the point. Being alpha just means you really crave that dominance. You are not, you're not satisfied to be a man of lower rank.
Yes.
Among men, you want to be at the top. So, and that is why you find, that's why I tell you, most of our leaders, politicians, CEOs, people who run and start companies, most of them are alpha. That is an alpha characteristic. So it comes with the dominance. But of course, taken to this extreme also, you can become very violent if you exercise poor judgment. So when I encourage men to be alphas, basically it means I'm trying to encourage them to maximize their potential. They have to be the best version of themselves. Because in the society, we have this thing people say, it's not that serious, and so on and so forth, which encourages mediocrity. When people try to chase purpose or a goal in a very aggressive fashion, people tell you to relax. Nani kuna ile ball ya manu hii, wewe na hii nini yako saa yote, wachana nayo bana. Kwani unasoma saa yote ama hii kitu yako ya photography ni saa yote?
Yes.
Twende tu watch game, twende tukunywe tuchape 2-3 kwanza. You see, so you are being told to basically compromise on your goals and on your aggression. So that's what being alpha is. So the point is that alphas, also because they are attractive to women, they also characterized with that offspring of abandonment and things like that. By that I mean being alpha is negative. It can also have negative characteristics.
Okay.
So men need to get a balance, because when you talk to women tell you need to be a nice guy, you need to have a job, you need to treat your woman like a queen. But those are just better qualities, and the woman will love them. They'll find you attractive, but you will not be desirable because of that.
But then again, before Zippy speaks, what does arrogance, you texting
good
me
point.
Twice when I text you 3 times, got to do with you being a man? Why can't you text me 3 times? Why do you have to be arrogant? Why do you have to be aggressive? Can't I tell you I love you, I love you, I love you?
No, it is not being arrogant.
3 times.
It's not being arrogant.
But you,
it's
in
just
the
showing,
book, in the book though, you've said categorically, and here I would also encourage men to be arrogant.
No, so now I know what I tell guys, and which I'll repeat now. It is better for you to act like you're cocky than to act like you're humble when you're dealing with a woman. Because normally the difference between bad boys and nice guys is exactly that. And you see, when you act like you're cocky, you're basically trying to convey that you're very confident about yourself and your abilities. Of course, if there's no substance behind that cockiness, you'll be figured out. Okay, but you're still better off than someone who just goes with being humble and they have nothing to show for it. So that is the point. And then also I encourage guys to be busy. Women also don't like men who are humble. A woman will tell you she wants you to respond to her every text, but when you start doing that, she is the one who is going to start resenting you and saying, this guy nani naye saa yote ananitumia messages, ako tu kwa simu saa yote. Yes, it is the truth. So, and that's why women don't give men very good relationship advice.
I noticed
the things they'll tell you are actually the opposite.
I noticed now my texts are being answered after 2 days also.
Oh.
Since yes.
Oh, okay.
Since Unplugged, but it's all right.
No, it is good, because when you are busy creating value and so on, you're not going to be available to answer every text that comes in, and women know that. So if you're a man who just box text inaingia ping, ushajibu ping, it means you're idle. And if you are idle, the event, I mean the eventuality of being idle is you're going to be low value, because money comes from work done. You cannot be working and answering texts all the time. Women know that.
Zippy?
For me, I don't care about alpha and beta.
Yes.
What my argument is always the high value man. The high value man, according to Aliet, is a man who has money, status, and is promiscuous.
And
No,
attitude.
you're still butchering.
And attitude.
She's
No,
still
no,
butchering
that's
my
the thing.
She's still butchering my definition.
Because I am still butchering your definition, because I have
Promiscuity is not part of being alpha
it
or
is.
being high value. It is not part of it.
It is. From your explanation, I have asked, this is the 3rd time I'm asking it.
And I'm answering it. Promiscuity is not part of it.
Yeah, but
the others are okay.
but when you explain it, you explain it through sexuality.
Yes.
Desire.
Plain high
So sexuality
value.
is part of it.
No, the
You know,
desire
women-
and having more women.
Listen, women don't go for men who are promiscuous. Women go for men who are of high value. And when you are of high value, they can ignore your promiscuity. When you are of low value, you must commit to her monogamous.
So high value in this case, when you're of a higher status,
Mm-hmm.
and that one you are only assuming that because it is in the assumption still of the women they have married are not financially stable.
No, even
Because
if
you
they're
know,
stable.
in your definition of high value woman, it's just about age.
They are-
You have
I'll
not
give you the
defined a high
example-
value woman in
I'll give
terms
you the
of
example of
financial
a black
status.
woman who is very successful,
Yes.
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Give me
Yes.
Kenyan example.
Very good
Ajana
examples.
and Hawa. Kenyan
Kenyan examples are too personal.
Problem.
From the example she gave of a lady who came on her show, I can give an example here and then I meet
No,
that person.
Zippy is
in the
here.
next-
Peana example, Zippy ako hapa.
I cannot mention
I am an
names.
example.
Yeah, but
I am
it is
an
the case.
example.
Even King Solomon married several women
Aya.
and concubines and
Jay-Z
so
and
on.
No, but-
Beyonce.
Yes.
But the thing is, still remains for me is that your comparison of value is not determined, is not on a similar scale for men and women.
Of course, it isn't.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
your value, according to you, you keep saying women don't lose their value. Yes, you say women are born with value
Yes.
Yes.
And
they
they
should
don't-
preserve it.
and they should preserve it.
Yes.
But you see,
They lose it over time.
they lose it over time.
Yes.
So after they lose it, according to you, a woman after the age of 27, today you've increased it from 25 to 27,
Yes.
has no more value.
No, she has value. I talk about yellow pearls. You remember
No,
that?
no.
It's still a pearl, but now it is yellow.
You have said
But
it has
still,
reduced.
it's
Yes,
reduced.
it is
You have said it
reduces.
has reduced.
And it's not me saying it. Biology says it.
No.
But
And
that
that is
still-
what I bring back to you. You have put your definition of women only on biological.
No, wait.
And your definition of
Wait.
men
With this
is
needs to be
beyond
clear.
biological.
Okay,
I
let
need
him
to clear
Let
this.
him clear,
Yes.
clarify.
I said I'll take you guys to school.
No, but have you
but
understood me as
let's
you
go
I've
to
understood
school.
you. That's why I want to
that
clarify.
man's definition of value is not on biological scale.
Yes, it's not.
It is only
On-
it is on
On the
status.
value, yes.
Yet in this current status of things in today's world, women are not only biologically their value can not only be defined biologically.
Maybe in
Some
the
don't
workplace.
even want
in
to.
And the
workplace.
thing is this: no. We have to, and we also now have to differentiate that.
Yes.
Are we talking about relationships or
Relationships
workplace
only.
also?
We only talk about
Let's
relationships.
so let's leave alone workplace.
So
also.
now,
so let's
Lynn, let me
focus
give
on
you
work,
an
on
example.
relationships. Yes.
You have 10 men and 10 women,
Yeah.
and you are members of a tribe or a community, and another tribe is coming to attack you. Okay? What humans have generally done is you can even send, if you need 9 people, send these 9 men. Okay? Let one man remain behind, because this one man, he can impregnate all these women and your tribe will continue.
Okay.
If you take these women to war, you're going to lose your tribe, because a woman also needs 9 months to create a baby.
Yes.
And that is why men are known as a disposable sex. We go to war, we die, we do dangerous jobs to feed our families
now,
and so on. Yeah,
you are
even
still
now.
going to war.
Yeah, people are fighting now.
Come back,
Yes.
Aliet.
Nowadays,
now
we
let
will
me-
preserve, first of all,
wait.
Lynn, a minute, just a minute. Nowadays, because we have money, we will preserve our ovaries.
Your eggs, yes.
The sperm.
Yes.
So you can still go to war. That is not an issue. That is why I'm
But
still bringing
that's
it back.
expensive.
No,
And it depends on
women
if
can
you have
afford
the-
it, and
if you
men.
can
See,
afford.
the high value man can afford it.
How many women can
You know,
afford it?
the
May I
high
have a
value man
question?
can afford it.
Me,
No,
me, I
no,
have
very
a
few.
question.
Even for the
I have
high
a
value
question.
women can.
I have
Very
a
few.
question for the both of you. So are we assuming times are not changing?
Times
Because
have
one of
changed.
the comments
But
I
this
had-
is important. I
yes.
need to answer this
Yes.
question.
Yes, please.
Now, times are changing. Culture is changing.
Yes.
Perspectives are changing.
Yeah.
But biologically, we are still the same.
Which is okay.
And the problem here is women still want a 20th century man, but themselves, they want to be in the 21st century.
Can we say the same for
Yeah,
men?
that,
No.
that
Men
no,
want-
that
You
is
see,
a men want.
Allow
Listen.
me. No.
And men want a
Ngojeni
1980
kidogo,
woman. No,
ngojeni.
let me speak.
Go on.
If times are changing, things are changing, culture is changing and everything, why don't you want to believe that it is men who have refused to change? Men have refused to adapt to the fact that right now, if the woman was at her prime at that age of 25 to 27, right now the woman can still be at her prime at 35. You know, traditionally, that theology or theory of yours could only work because women were becoming housewives or maybe primary school teachers. I think that was the best. Primary school teachers, secretaries. Right nowadays, women are CEOs, meaning after campus, they also have a life. But you want women to still be the same one, the other side, coming home at 5, while the work requires them to be home at 8 p.m. They wanatoka kwa ofisi. And they still, of course, will nurture. But you do not want to understand that the woman is now bringing money home.
Let me add on that. I'm actually adding.
Yes.
Zippy, actually, I was on your side because I was going to add to what you said.
Yeah.
Because there is, after our interview, there is a woman who asked a very genuine, simple question. You men, you still want traditional
Woman.
but you don't want to do traditional roles.
In fact, Aliet said he cannot cook in his show.
Yes.
And we women, we want men who can help us around the house.
And also breakfast in bed in the morning.
Yes.
So what's the question?
The question is, the man still wants the traditional woman, but does not want to become that both traditional and modern.
Because let's look at it this way.
You want the traditional woman in a modern woman.
Yes.
But you also want this woman to contribute financially in this modern setup. So it is not the woman who is still stuck.
And there's a reason
who is stuck in time.
And there's a reason I asked, you guys, you still go to war. Because traditionally, that's correct. Men went to war. Men made sure that their wives were safe. Men made sure that the wives were provided for. Food was there. Kila kitu iko hapo. Are we together? They made sure they had farms where women could go and till the land, making sure that they could harvest, making sure that the kids were okay. So the question that we are asking Zippy hapa ni, so you want me to come back home
to provide and nurture.
At my na traffic ya Nairobi,
Yes.
Kazi yetu tunafunga ofisi 5. I'll be home around 8 or 7:30, depending on traffic. You got there before me. But I'll find you still there sitting, waiting for me to come and perform traditional submissive roles. Because last time we said we could afford a house help. Here we can't afford a house help. Then at the end of the month, you will still ask me, baby, yako ndio inalipa rent ama yako ndio inafanya shopping ya food?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So where is the balance?
Where is the balance for the working woman who has to still contribute to the fees, to the rent? Because hii Nairobi ni
And
kusaidiana.
still play traditional roles.
Hakuna mtu anaenda ofisi sahi analipwa 300,000. Kidogo sana. You guys have 4 kids. They gotta go to school. Rent has to be paid. All these
And
things.
the house help.
Now maybe you can't also afford a house help. All these things require money, which means Aliet go work, I work, we bring what we have together.
So the thing is that women, and remember I gave you the example, this is something you can Google.
Yes.
Even women who are working, they still want men who have more money than them. It means women still expect men to be the provider and the protector in that relationship.
So
Okay.
your money is our money.
Yes, my money
my
is mine.
That is still that.
Wait.
No. But
Let
you are
him-
not answering
That's
the
that.
question.
I've given you time.
Give him time.
You see, when you're asleep with your wife in bed at night, and you hear somebody touching the door, utaambiwa, "Hey, bwenda uangalie, huyo ni nani?" You will not find a situation where the woman is going to stand up. He's going to tell the man, "Hey,
Yes,
true.
that's
go and
okay.
risk your life."
true.
You see?
Yeah.
So the women still expect the man to be traditional. But these women are no longer traditional in this sense. They're no longer virgins. Okay? Men used to marry women when they were virgins in their young age. Nowadays, you marry women in their 30s, 40s. They have seen so many men. Okay? They are no longer virgins.
Even the men are not virgins.
The men,
Traditionally,
the
they
men
used
never
to be
needed to be virgins.
They were
Never.
needed to.
Never. Wait.
But who are they sleeping
I'm
with?
answering questions
Who are-
now.
Who
My
are
job
they
is to answer
sleeping with?
questions.
Because
I
it
will
was either
note
women
that.
were virgins or
I will
married.
note
Wait,
that.
Were they
you will
sleeping
come
with
to
married
that.
women?
Zippy, let him answer.
A man needs to be a man of value, not to be a virgin.
Were those traditional men sleeping with married women or virgins? Which ones?
No. It goes back to the question. A woman.
Men were virgins.
No. It's a woman who should preserve her value. And a man's value is not tied to his sexuality.
A woman's is.
A woman's is.
No,
Yes.
the thing
A
is
woman's
this.
is.
I just want this argument
You are
to be clear.
you're interrupting
because-
me when I'm
no,
answering.
I'm not interrupting.
What's
I
your
am-
question?
In other words,
hold on.
I-
Aliet,
A
Aliet,
woman,
hold on.
the
A
modern
man
What's your
was
woman.
question,
also a
Dr.
virgin.
Zippy? What's your question?
My comment,
Yes,
not even question,
yes.
is when he says women were the only ones virgin.
Yes.
Not
and
the only
men-
ones.
No, he says men were not virgins.
Yeah.
And yet in traditional community, a
Even
woman
the
was
word of-
either a virgin
even the word virgin,
or
what
married.
does it
Does
mean?
it mean these young men were sleeping with married women to break their virginity.
Okay, good. Go on.
Yeah,
now.
that is up to the men.
No, I will note that
That's
down.
up to the men.
No,
But you see,
I've noted it because she has a
Even
very
men were
genuine
virgins.
question.
yeah, she's trying to hold men accountable, right?
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
No,
right?
Yeah,
she-
but like
Yeah.
even men
But
who
you
are
see,
virgin like now.
The
It is
point
not
is
just
this:
now. Yeah.
men are not like women. You cannot judge men on the same metric as women. Men cannot get pregnant, as I told you.
Yes.
There's a reason why virginity was valued, because it is the woman who can actually guarantee paternity to the man.
Yeah.
Women always know the fathers of their children, but a man doesn't know. So that's why a man wants to know that this woman that I'm marrying
Is a virgin.
is a virgin and not going to sleep around.
Aya,
Because
good.
akianza
Okay.
sleep around, even when she's married, she'll still want to sample around.
Hence the
And then
question,
she'll cuckold you.
Hence the question.
Yes.
For me to be a higher value woman, my sexuality traditionally depended on whether I'm a virgin or not. Sindio, a man,
A man, it wasn't important.
See-
Can he
see
bring the
that-
cows?
So the
Good.
roles.
That's what your
Let's go back
parents
to
will
the
ask.
roles.
Can he bring the cows?
which means
And
which
what does he
means-
do for a living?
Which means
Yes.
Let's go back
men
to
were
the roles.
sleeping around.
Not they were. So, see, by the way, this I need to answer this because even Zippy doesn't seem to understand. You know, sleeping around or being promiscuous for a man is more expensive than a woman. A woman just needs to show up. A man has to book the Airbnb. He has to get the protection. He has to get a dinner date. And he also has to be attractive
And that's
to this
true.
woman.
And that's
But
true.
a woman just needs to show up. Unaweza kuja. You
No,
say that yes
she
or
has
no.
to make her hair,
Ah.
wear the right shoes.
Perfume.
wear
That is
the right
her own
perfume,
vanity. The
makeup.
vanity is not
No, I'm
important.
with
No.
you on that.
Yeah.
Aya,
This
I'm
is
It
with
is
reality.
a cost to
Aya,
everyone.
Before
No.
I lose my train, I'm with you on that. But again,
And that means men are less promiscuous than women. Continue.
hey,
Yes. Very
yeah,
true.
I mean,
Okay.
we'll come to that. But now let me continue, which means men, whether they were virgin or not, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
So it means men walikuwa wameonja either ways.
Yes.
If there are men who were attractive, men who had game, we call it game.
So
You know, if a
assuming-
man is very
Game,
shy, he cannot
game.
approach a woman.
Aliet,
It's called game.
Game.
Kama
Maana-
huwezi seduce mwanamke, si utakuwa virgin. You will be a virgin
And
until you
the
get
And
married.
many
is-
people are.
And the
Yes.
question is, Dr. Zippy, see, it's traditional, meaning tuko kwaka
Yeah.
ka zone. So this woman mwenye unapelekea game, and you still expect them to be married a virgin, how does that play out?
It's like a game. It's the woman to preserve her value, and is this man to display the confidence and attractiveness to the woman.
Which is okay, but
What
you want
I'm
to
getting
marry a
here
virgin.
is
But in that estate,
That's
men
why we-
are not virgins.
That's why we've compromised.
compromised
Compromised
what?
We
on
nowadays
what?
don't insist on virginity as a
But
condition
the
for
thing is
marriage.
this.
See, we've
For me,
compromised.
what I'm getting is that
Yes.
still, no matter what happens in the society, the burden still remains on the woman.
Good.
Which burden? Of course, the burden of preserving their value, yes.
No.
But
Every
the burden of performance is on men.
Every burden, whether it's the burden of performance.
You read
is
that
why-
chapter on burden
and-
of
and-
performance.
But
In fact,
That one is
your
on men.
book,
Go on,
your book,
Dr. Zippy.
Aliet, has proved the point that I said even in the other show.
Yes.
That the society, anytime anything fails in the society, it's women who are always blamed. And actually, you have blamed women for every failed man
No.
in your books. Yes, you have.
Yes.
No, I was just giving the story of men.
Yes, that is the story
Because
of men.
nobody
With men who
nobody
have
hears the
failed.
stories of men.
No. It's men who have failed because women in their lives let them down. It's women who did not
Left
stand up to
them,
support them,
Yes.
left them,
hypergamy.
and all that.
But there's a disclaimer I put there, surely,
the
in the book.
outliers.
I said that this doesn't mean all women are bad or like this.
No. That one we read. That one I know.
disclaimer
But
is
you are talking about the majority of.
Because it's a
In fact,
story. This is
no.
this book.
Aliet,
I'm telling the story of
no.
men.
I want you.
You want to hijack a narrative of men and make it a narrative of women. Even
No.
you can write a book for women.
I will.
Yes, you
in
should.
Fact, I will. In fact, I'll just take your book and I'll just turn it all to women, same stories.
You can do plug.
I'll do plug. The thing is, the issue that I have, because I mean, I agree with a lot of things about Aliet, except a few.
Yes.
Like one, Aliet, why you preach to men, you get it, which is very good. Nowadays, men need somebody to hold them and to tell them to man up, which is very good. Kudos to you. If I had a son, I'd tell them to see you every weekend.
Thank you very much.
Me too.
However,
Sasa
no.
tumalize tu hapo sasa.
However,
However, tena.
no.
Haya,
This is the
sawa.
reason. This is the reason why I disagree with you. The reason why I will tell my son not to come and see you.
Again.
Yes,
Hey.
is because as a mother, I want my child to still respect women and still respect daughters and still respect mothers. But as you teach the young men, the trajectory that comes is that they should not treat women right. they should not love women after they have reached a particular age, you know, because here, in fact, I want to, the young men who are listening, who are already at the age of 30, who married that 25-year-old woman, and right now the woman is 30, the man is 35. The message that's going around is that now you don't have value. Perhaps the woman has only had one child. You get what I mean? Because when you send that message, you are not giving discretion on whether it is singles or marrieds or divorcees. It is an issue of women this age, high value. After that age, no value. So a man starts to feel like, oh, once my woman is 30, 35, hakuna penye ataenda, so I don't need to treat her well. But here is a trajectory that we do not want, because if many people are going to have divorces, which I don't, I'm divorced, but I don't advocate for divorce. That's why I'm getting married again and again. I will. Because marriage is a beautiful thing, you know.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So we do not want people to get divorced for flimsy excuses just because Aliet said you don't have value anymore.
Or text twice.
Or text twice. So here is a woman who's trying to call you twice. And because your message will be taken in a very wrong way. And this has led to a lot of casualties. A woman tries to call a man twice. The baby is sick and the man is not picking. Because Aliet said you don't call, maybe you call 3 times. Then after the second time, she gets tired, she starts looking for alternative calls the relatives who are around to come and help them take the child to hospital.
Then it's
as far as I'm concerned,
too.
for somebody you love, you should pick their first call.
This is called catastrophizing something.
Okay.
No.
She imagines a catastrophe
No.
just to invalidate the point I'm making.
No.
And
What's the
it's
point?
manipulative.
No, it's not manipulative.
I explained earlier, you need to be a busy person. You know, chatting on SMS all the time does not help.
No, but someone calling you in the evening.
But you know what you're saying brings us back to full circle about treating a woman like a queen.
Yes.
And this is why it is offensive to women. What Zippy is saying.
We are not talking about the...
No. I want to explain how it's linked to it.
No. I want to
because
differentiate
you want all
one
women
thing.
to be treated like queens, even though they have wasted themselves.
I want you to
She was going
separate it.
somewhere.
There are two people, or people who are obsessed. Let's not talk about people who are obsessed texting you every 10 minutes. You know, we are talking about normal people in love in Nairobi text at least 3 times a day.
Okay.
That is the one we're talking about.
Okay. I don't know where the research was done.
No, that is the research.
Okay.
Yes.
By Zippy.
By Zippy. I will claim that research. Normal Nairobi people, it's the good morning.
3 times a day.
At least 3 times, around lunchtime or here in between the day, and of course before you sleep.
Does that mean before phones, people could not love each other? But anyway, go on.
No. Those days, they had ways of finding that out. I mean, you trust that and those days, people are more faithful anyway.
Okay.
But the thing is this. We are not talking about the obsessive person who every time, where are you? Let's talk about normal, healthy relationships. That's why I like basing my argument on good relationships.
But normal healthy relationship, you don't have the child falling sick every day, but go on.
No. So leave alone the child
You are the one
falling.
who created a
Exactly.
catastrophe. There is no
Leave
catastrophe
alone the
in
child
normal
falling
health.
sick every day. You as a woman, you just want to call this man and just to make you feel good. You get what I mean? Because
make you feel
No,
good?
in fact, that is the word I'm using intentionally because you
That's
say
a problem.
No. I'm using the word
It's not
because
a job of a man to regulate your feelings.
Exactly.
That's abuse, actually.
No. That
You
is why
cannot
I'm
be calling
using,
a man every time
I'm
you don't
using that
feel
word
good.
because you say
That's what your girlfriends are for.
Listen to me. Because I'm not forcing you to make me feel good,
Yes.
but because talking to you makes me feel good because I
What
love
if I'm
you.
busy? Yes.
If you are busy, it's okay.
Yes.
But
But
Zippy-
talking to somebody you love, Aliet, makes somebody feel good.
That's a problem.
But let me
Aliet.
ask.
That's loading your own
Aliet,
problems
so you
onto a
want
man
to
because
the
of
men
love.
listening,
No.
you want to assume that talking to the woman you love does not make you feel
Not
good.
all the time.
But let me
You are
ask.
But that
together
is
in the
that 3
morning.
times a day.
You are together in the morning.
Hold on,
You'll
hold
still
on.
be together in
No,
the
we are
evening.
not talking about...
Hold on. Might he be having a point? Because I hate when a man talks to me the
Thank you.
whole day.
This is a busy woman.
No, that is not, we are not talking about the whole day. No, Lynn.
Not the
that,
whole day.
Lynn,
Even
you are
3
getting me wrong.
times.
Lynn,
No,
we
even
are talking about 3
times.
times.
Even 3 times.
Exactly. We are
Even
talking about 3 times. That is
even-
average.
even
Let's talk
3
about
times.
average people.
3 times.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
No, morning.
Hi, how are you?
But
Are you okay?
How is he supposed
I'm just
to?
checking on
No,
you.
I'm see. I
Yes.
really
Why are you
want
checking
to
on me? Kwani, what do you expect to happen?
No. We are not
Kwani
talking
you don't
about...
want to be checked
Look
on?
here. As a married
falling
person...
apart? You're not-
Apana. Lynn, as a married
But
person,
no.
if you live with your wife, at least during the day, once a day, you need to check on each
Zippy
other.
standards, that's okay, fine.
Yes,
Yes.
Zippy
Continue.
standards. Yes, I'm speaking to 70% of women.
Really?
Yes. And if you are not married, you are not living together, you need to check on each other at least 3
That's
times
fine.
a day.
Okay, that's okay.
So if you're living
Zippy.
together, there's a morning meonana, jinim taonana, but during the day, You right now, in these floods, you don't know whether hata somebody hata kuingia kwa
Ama
ofisi because
kumenyesha.
Back to catastrophizing
But
things.
no,
not
but
catastrophic.
Relationships
part.
are not just about
Sometimes
catastrophe.
no.
Ngoja kidogo.
Sometimes it's
Zippy,
just about
Zippy.
amekula lunch.
Zippy, no? Zippy.
You don't want to be asked if
Kwani
you've
ni
eaten
mtoto?
lunch.
Zippy.
Yes.
Hey.
He's mentioned something important. You said,
Yes.
I want him to make me feel good.
Good. Yes.
And he asked a very
No.
important
You
Yeah.
have changed my word.
Okay.
I've not said I want him to make me feel good
It
because it will make me feel good.
And it is his job to make you feel
No.
good.
But I
That
just
is why
said
it is my job. That is why I'm calling him.
You're disturbing
He is
him.
not
He's
the one
busy.
calling. I
Why
am
don't you
calling
wait? Okay, why don't you wait until evening?
because it makes me feel good
There's
to
a
know
problem.
that it's fine. No,
Then
there's no problem. No.
That's codependency. That means you need to regulate yourself.
No, so
You have a problem.
So when you call somebody you love, it's codependency.
No. When it's a need like that, then there's a
No,
problem.
it's not a need.
It's not a need. So it's just a random message.
It's a random
Then
message, a
it's
call
okay.
because you
But I
love
thought you
somebody.
said 3. Average of 3 means it can
Average
go up
of
to
3
9.
because you're not living
It
two.
can go up to 9 or 10.
Apana, average means it's 3.
And it's like each message, because of the examples you're giving,
Yes.
each message has to be responded to because there could be a problem.
Which messages?
You said the message
Wait,
you need to
achana na-
respond.
no.
Because
It's
mtoto
either
anaweza kuwa
a
mgonjwa,
message.
ama kuna floods.
Umesema tuachane na
Tuachane na
catastrophe.
catastrophe.
Mimi, I am a hopeless romantic.
Oh, just a romantic.
I am a hopeless romantic.
Yes.
And since I do not live with a man, we will talk in the morning, lunch, and before we sleep.
Good.
And I've already said how that plays out.
And that one is okay.
How does that play out?
Because we love
For
each
men.
other. For
Not for
okay.
men.
For a married person, you have reached the house. Hata usalimiwi, you don't want to be greeted because it's my house. So you just want, the wife is in the kitchen.
Unasalimiana. You give
That
them
is-
hugs,
that-
you give
no.
them kisses and
Exactly.
so on.
That is the evening message for those who are not living together. You get what I mean?
Yes.
In the morning, when you're leaving the house, do you wish each other
Yeah,
good
you wish
day?
each other good day.
One of
Yes,
the
that is
things-
the good
And
morning
of
for
course
those
you
who do not
and
live
then you,
together.
of course, you
Hold on.
exchange messages
Hold
during
on.
the day.
So that is exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
that
it
is okay.
But it should not be tied to some sort of urgency.
No, it is not urgency.
Like if you don't respond, there's a problem.
No, it is not a problem. But the thing is, it makes love and communication good.
So if your love is that weak that it has to be propped with
no,
messages
it is not
every
about
time,
being weak.
there's a problem.
It is not about being weak.
Because you see, love is not infatuation. Love is supposed to be a stable feeling that can last the distance.
So question is, so if you love somebody, you should not communicate with them for 3
you
days.
can communicate, but there should not be a mandate that you at least 3 messages per day.
Not
and
at
so
least
on.
3. We say 3 contacts. Let me call it 3 contacts.
Yeah, 3
because
contacts.
wewe umeoana, asubuhi contact, jioni contact.
Yeah, and then moja
Then
mchana.
lunchtime ya
Hiyo ni
mchana.
sawa. That's
Hiyo
So
ni
sisi,
sawa.
us, we are not married.
Hiyo ni
So
sawa.
those 3 are our contacts. Asubuhi, good morning, nini. Lunch tena jioni. You get what I mean?
Yes,
because for us, that for me, I feel, and a lot of women, I mean, even the non-hopeless romantics.
Yes.
That communication is important.
That is okay.
It's a-
Communication
Yes.
is
So
important.
it is not a need.
It is
It is part of what makes that
beautiful.
thing beautiful.
Yeah, I
But
think
let
we
me go
understand
back.
each other.
Let me go back
Yes.
to
So how does that make a man weak?
It doesn't make him weak. I already give you a context where every message she sends, you respond immediately, like you're just on your phone. It
No,
shows that.
those are obsessed people. There's
Yeah.
a difference between
There's a
3
obsessed
messages,
men.
we agreed.
So let's-
I've already told you we agree on
So
that.
we agree on that.
we are all
Yes.
in agreement. There's a reason I spoke about what she said, I feel good. And you said there's a problem because in your book you also say happiness, it's not my job to make you happy. As my
Yeah.
husband, it's not your job to make me happy.
That's
As
what
your-
even me I agree.
as
It is
your
nobody's
wife.
business to make you happy.
Yes.
But
Let's talk
calling
ab-
somebody
No,
can make you
nimeenda
happy.
away from
You're going back
calling.
to it.
Nimetoka
Yeah.
kwa calling in general. When we say it's not my job to make you happy, it's not your job to make me happy. Because the reason I've brought it up, it's because it's one of the highest causes of divorce. He doesn't make me happy anymore. I stopped feeling happy. I was not happy.
There's something missing.
Yeah.
There's something missing. I became miserable. I was
Because
not
communication
happy.
stopped.
I was
No.
not-
Guys, let me tell you,
Yes.
communication is, in fact,
But she's telling you
it's
from
not
a
even
woman's
about, it's
perspective.
not
No,
even
no, no.
about
Our
text.
perspective is wrong, but let her finish.
Let's forget about text messages.
Yes. Okay.
Let's talk about people in the house on a weekend.
Yes.
Communication, that kind of communication. You get it? Achana na hizi za mtandao. If communication stops, then there's no happiness.
Okay.
Because as one, how will you even say, I want you? You get what I mean?
How will you communicate?
How will you communicate? Because here is this 40-year-old man with a 25-year-old. Even that relationship is going to break if there's no communication. If this woman cannot say how she wants it and the man cannot say how he wants it, or when he wants it, or even because I mean, men say that women are wearing what do they call them? T-shirts.
T-shirts.
But nowadays it's men who are not performing, Jacob.
Okay. You've mixing so many things.
No, that's because of communication.
Because
Let's
from
go.
moving to 3 texts a day, you're calling that communication. You know, you can communicate even if you don't send 3 texts a day.
No. Si umesema tuachane na hiyo. I've talked about
Nimeingia
in
kwa
the
happiness
house.
in
And-
I've
general.
talked about the house.
And-
Even just how do you call it? We say love making starts in the morning if you want sex at night.
Yes.
Yeah, but
That love making is not happening in this house even just by looking at each other.
yes. But you see, communication starts even before you get married. It's during courtship. You'll be able to know whether this person is a good communicator
Some
or
people
not.
are connected. So that courtship is, and the connected ones say they're the ones that last longer.
Yeah, because you see, the challenge I have, I have no issue with communication. You can even communicate 1,000,000 times a day. But the predictors of a stable relationship,
Yeah.
at least for men, it's, you know, when you talk about parental investment, protection, and provisioning, communication plays a very small role. Yeah.
For men,
Yes, for men.
yes.
For men.
But
And
for
that's
and
why,
for
women,
and that's why he told
It is
her,
the top priority.
and that's
It
why
is
he
the top
told her,
priority.
that's why a woman needs to have her girlfriends. You can communicate the way you want the whole day. A man is supposed to be chasing his purpose and ensuring that he provides for his family and protects them. If he's communicating with you all day,
No,
how is he going
let's
to
stop
create
talking
value?
about all day. Let's talk about the
So
average
that is
man.
the point.
Yes.
Loading all your emotional needs on your spouse is one of the problems you're having nowadays in marriage, where a woman doesn't know how to regulate her own emotions. Like if she feels low, she feels she has to call you. If there's something bothering, and you know, women, of course, they have, your emotions are going to fluctuate. So every time you're feeling low, you feel your husband should be at your beck and call. That is going to be a problem. Yeah. And that's why I say a happy marriage is created by 2 happy people coming together. You don't get 2 miserable people and then expect them now to become
That one, of course, will not
magically
work.
happy.
That one
Yeah.
we both agree.
Because if you have a problem that you want someone to feel you happy, it means you are the one who is not happy. So why do you expect someone to be responsible for making you happy?
Good. And I
But
love
when you're not happy also, it will be very sad if your spouse will be the last person to know that you did not have a happy day.
Oh, a happy day.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see something happen.
but it can wait.
And let's look at happiness in
it
terms
can
of
wait.
It can wait, sure.
Yes.
Fine,
No.
so- but
Jacob,
He'll
Jacob-
come home unless it's a long distance relationship.
because this is what happens
He'll
with
come
women.
home.
If we vent it on a girlfriend, by the time it reaches you, see, we vented it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why should it reach me at all, by the way?
Okay, that's okay.
So that's what men, you are saying that's what men
I'm
want.
not saying that's what
No,
men
no.
want.
That's
I'm
okay.
just saying, don't expect a man to be the one responsible for how you feel.
No. By
Yeah,
the, and when
emotions.
women tell men these things, we always know you don't have solutions.
And you know, and this is something men put up with, but women normally take for granted. Many married men are often forced to listen to women talking for hours on end about things they can do nothing about, as she has mentioned.
Yeah.
It's a female thing
And we know you can do nothing about
So,
it. Yeah.
so they should go talk to their friends.
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I
We
like
are
the
learning.
sometimes.
Yeah.
We are
sometimes.
learning, and sometimes it's okay for
Sometimes,
her
But
to
now,
call
back
you.
to my question.
It's okay
Because
for her to call you
a
and
woman
tell
is
you
someone
about
who
it.
will have a knife sticking on her forehead and she explains to you how she has a headache, she has pain in her head. And if you tell her, why don't you just remove that knife? You say, no, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. You know, she'll be very mad at you for just trying to give her a solution.
Okay.
So you'll just sit there and listen to her complaining about her boss, her girlfriends, how they've let her down. You just say, okay, hey, she's very bad. That's a bad
But
person.
back
She did
to
that.
my question, Lynn.
Huo ni mbaya sana.
My question, I want.
But ukimwambia si wachane nao, atakwambia wewe, what's wrong with you? So that is a female dynamic,
Why
and
am I
men
in
understand.
agreement with him?
Yeah.
But why am
Thank
I in
you.
agreement? This one, I'm
Thank
in
you.
No,
agreement.
those ones we agree. But now,
We may agree.
We agree.
is there
Just
a
watch
way?
it up.
No.
I'll
Is
tell
there
your
a way?
followers you've agreed. Which camera is
Which
it?
agree with what?
With me.
No,
Unplugged.
from the very
No,
beginning, I
it's
said
that
there are a lot of things I agree with you, and
She
there are a
said
lot
that
of things
though.
I do not agree
She
with
said
you.
They're
that
increasing pole pole.
No.
What
But
do you disagree about?
Wanna
So the
move on
one
to
thing
something.
is,
Eh,
Aliet,
okay.
like I was saying, why I'll bring my child to you and why I'll not bring my child to you. Can you teach men without insulting women?
For you,
Or degrading? Let me use
Listen,
the word degrading.
and I come back to it. When Zippy says insulting women, what she means is you're telling a man that this woman who has 3 children from different men is not going to be the best candidate for marriage. That is not degrading a woman. You're just advising men to go for the women who can give them the best outcomes in a marriage.
No. Aliet,
Okay.
that is not the issue.
And normally, wait, when
That is not the issue.
when people say
that is good
how do I
advice,
degrade
but
women?
how do you
I
advise?
degrade women?
When you start now saying those women, they're veterans.
All veterans. They're all veterans. They're all veterans. They're all veterans.
Those
is
are
not
I'm
degrading.
checking for something because I want
like
Zippy to
those
react
women
to
are
it.
war veterans. They will not help you. The thing is this: can you talk to this man, empower him without degrading the woman? Because Aliet, you are a man from a very nice background.
Listen, Zippy,
yes.
You know, I have men who come to my inbox and they tell me, I wish I read your book.
Even me, I have women who come to my background, to my inbox.
No. You asked me the question, so I need to answer it. Because they did not know this. They did not know that they are war veterans. They did not know that a woman who has a damaged past, or who shows that she has a lot of
unprocessed trauma.
She has a lot of trauma, is not a good candidate for relationship. Men don't know this. So that's what I'm teaching them. If a man feels that the best candidate to marry is a woman with children from different people, who has run around, who has all her images on social media, that is also okay. But there are men who have done that and they've got poor results.
The thing is this: is there a way you can teach that same man without degrading?
Okay, that's a good question.
Women?
But now let me answer that.
Is the thing.
So what she's saying, she has no problem with my message. It is how I'm packaging it.
And that is what I've been saying. Yes.
Yeah.
How
so
you teach.
See, so now the problem is this. Experience shows that the issue is not how I'm packaging it. They just don't like the message. They would rather I just pander to them and tell them the way that guy does. I've forgotten his name. Praise all these women. When you say treat a woman like a queen, normally that is what it means. It means it doesn't matter whether she has several children from several men,
if
how
you have
old
chosen
she
her
is,
and
so
you're
on.
a king,
You
treat
see,
her
but
like
you see,
queen.
a woman has to respect herself. There is no way you treat her like a queen if she doesn't. If she's a drunkard, and I quote
we are not. For me, the thing is this: you as a man, you have chosen the drunkard, so that's your problem.
The women who say treat a woman like a queen normally mean even if she does that.
No, the question is, if you have taught a man well, he will not choose a drunkard.
Zippy, hold on.
So once he has chosen a good woman, why can't he treat her like a queen?
No. But treating a man well is letting him know what his value is and how to pick a woman. Okay?
Yes.
But here, you don't want me to teach them how to pick women.
Hold on, Zippy.
No. Just a moment.
Okay.
You have taught the man how to pick a woman.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Now, why can't you allow this same man to treat this woman he has picked, whom you have taught him well how to pick, as a queen?
The man should treat a woman like his wife. Okay? If he is a king or she is a queen, she should be treated like a queen. Because the woman also treats him like a husband.
Thank
but
you. We have agreed, guys.
If you want to
glorify, women will be treated
like queens. There is no problem. If you want to glorify a man and a woman as king and queen, that is also okay.
That is okay.
I have no problem.
Okay, good. Let's move on. Because and I want Zippy to react to this. I think you saw the post I had posted. It's on Unplugged 1. Page 28, where you are discussing about, having more female-led households, especially in the West, where the single motherhood has become a norm. And I put this and there were a lot of reaction, especially on this part where you said more women opt for teaching jobs at the foundational levels of schooling. The female teachers shape boys as they go through the education system, contributing to more men tending to view the world through female lenses and facilitating the growth of a gynocentric social order. The boys are encouraged to speak like girls and emote like girls from their formative years. And there was a lot of reaction, and someone asked, are we saying boys at Alliance or Mangu are only taught by male teachers, and so there are no female teachers in this school? We need to debunk things beyond gender. Everything is not about gender. What did you mean by that part, and who would you want boys to be taught by, young men?
Yeah, traditionally, of course, children or babies are nurtured by their mothers.
Yeah.
But in most traditional African societies, at the teenage, the men now left the mothers and they joined the men so that they could be taught ways of men. What happens with the ladies who teach in the formative stages, in kindergarten, primary school, and so on? they pass on to the children female values like egalitarianism, like when you compete or participate in an event, everybody gets what we call a participation certificate, because these female teachers don't want the children to feel bad. But you see, that is not how men operate, and that's not how even the world treats men. It's the winners actually who get the spoils of war, and the spoils even in the workplace. When you go for an interview, the person who wins the interview is the one who gets the job. So that tends to make men weak. Okay, women value egalitarianism or equality, men value meritocracy. So you find that at the lower levels, the men are taught female ways of perceiving reality.
Yes.
They are told that, when you feel bad, you need to cry and things like that. And these men learn to become very, very emotional. Because when a man now learns to emote so much, when he gets frustrated, these are the men now who start breaking things and committing suicide, because they don't learn how to be stoic. They don't learn that there are things that are more important in life than your emotions. They are taught to listen to their emotions so much as opposed to listening to logic. They don't know how to compete and deal with adversity.
Yeah.
So that is why in the book I'm arguing, it is one of the things that is contributing to having weak men in the society. And also, when a man is accustomed to having a woman in authority, that means anafunzwa and female teachers throughout. It's very easy for that man, when he gets married, to allow his wife to be the one in charge. Analipa bills, analipa rent, kila kitu, because amezoea having a woman in authority. He has not been taught that he is the one who needs to be in charge and take care of, take responsibilities in the home. So that, I'm saying that is a contributory factor to that.
Okay. Zippy, what do you think?
For
From
me,
a mother's perspective.
not from a mother's perspective, from Zippy's perspective. I believe what he says about
true. Okay, baby, continue.
Jacob.
what he says about masculinity and all that femininity, I believe that all these trajectories were brought about just these gender conversations. And I think men have pushed it for a long time. As far as I'm concerned, the reason why we are having these differences is because women are already in places where men never expected women to be in. And once women are in these places, the high table, let me put it for that account, they are branded as masculine. And any time that we are branded, let me say as a woman in a powerful place, anytime we are branded as masculine because we are in a place of power, it makes me wonder, is it wrong? The question is it a bad thing? As far as I'm concerned, I'll tell any young girl, it is not wrong to be in a place of power. It is not wrong to have, let me say, to be a high achiever. It is not wrong for you to be a go-getter, because those are the masculinity traits that have been used to be a high achiever, because women have always been known to be emotionally weak. You get what I mean? And even when we lead, we are still emotional. Me, I'm a crybaby. Yes, me, I'll cry when a movie is nice, when it is bad, and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is this, sometimes that is the same thing that men need to balance. Men, as masculine as they are, they need to have a feminine touch. And women, as feminine as we are, we need to have the masculine touch. There needs to be a balance, so that we should stop saying women are the ones who will cry, they cannot hold, because they cannot be depended on, and men are the only ones who can be dependent on, and they should not cry. Because this not crying, because according to Aliet, the crying is what makes men commit suicide. But also we say they're not crying means they're not expressing themselves, also makes them commit suicide. So it's not really an issue of masculinity or femininity. The issue of people committing suicide are personal issues of trauma. How people process trauma is different. For me, it's not a masculinity or femininity issue. Yeah.
Jacob, Dr. Zippy there, she just raised a very important, she just said something important. What's wrong? Is it wrong to have women in positions of power? Okay,
so now the first thing that guys need to understand, Aliet did not create men. I'm not the one who created the men.
Guys,
yes,
you did not create men.
I did not create men.
So why are you?
So, saying that Aliet is the one teaching people what to choose, that one is not true.
No, but you have become
I need to answer. I need to answer.
The Indians have that thing, the god of the Indians.
I'm just explaining to you. I'm not the one creating all this. I'm just explaining to you, this is what is happening. If you do this, this is what you'll get. Yes. Okay? So the issue is that women are told that their sexuality is evergreen. It means that when you're 23, your sexual marketplace value is the same as when you're 40. I'm telling women that is not true.
It is not true. It increases by the Aliet.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So,
It gets better.
so I'm teaching women that this is a reality. And if you follow what Zippy is telling you, that when you're in your 40s, you'll have the same value.
But
You're
women
going
in
to
their
get-
40s are
value.
actually
We have a
saying
better
that, though.
sexual value.
Yes,
Aliet, by
women
the way.
in their 40s are the ones
There are
who...
so many women who did not get married in their 20s who are regretting now.
But again, we
But
asked,
they are
in your
enjoying
20s as
sex
a
in
woman, what do
40s.
you know
Women are
about
enjoying sex
marriage
in
and
40s.
family?
That is the point. You don't need to know anything. That's why you choose a man who can be a leader.
An alpha.
The idea, it could be an alpha or not. The idea,
But who is
listen,
a
I
high
am not
value man?
commenting
Listen,
on that. A
the
woman does
idea-
not need to know anything. That is why she gets a man.
The idea that you need to understand something shows bad faith. It means that this man that you want to marry is almost like your adversary.
But
You need
don't
to be prepared
think,
against him.
No, but don't you think, you see, again, it's a very gray area, because if you are saying,
But listen, it doesn't mean even if you are 40s, if you are going to marry an abuser, you're going to have a happy marriage.
No,
It's still going to be
Aliet.
No, you
miserable.
won't.
Aliet.
Even at 20.
Yeah.
you know
So
me
it should
as
not
well.
be about age.
The reasons for abuse, I think that's why even from the very beginning, I said, if we focus on this discussion based on divorce or abuse, then we are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Because-
you're the one who's saying that someone must know something before they get married.
but it's a marriage.
The thing you're going to know, because now we have the hookup and the dating culture, is you're just going to run around with a lot of men. In the end, maybe get an unwanted pregnancy, which is going to reduce your chances of getting the man you should have gotten. So the sooner you get married,
The better.
the better.
Go on.
So the earlier
Start
at
raising
25. So
your
he
children.
has answered
Yes.
that question you asked.
Yeah, the earlier
Of
the
what
better.
should a woman do at that prime time of
The
her?
earlier the
Get
The
better.
answer is get
The
married.
earlier the
to
better.
an alpha.
No. You get married to the best man that you
No,
can get.
but then shouldn't
Sometimes
a high
not
value
all women-
woman
not
end
all
up
women
with a
can
high
get
val-
alphas.
But again, high value women are looking
But
for
also,
high value men.
this high value
And
is relative.
according to
No.
your definition,
High value
a
women are not
high
looking for high
man-
value men.
So high value women should settle for anything.
No, I'm just saying high value women are not looking for high value men.
What are they looking for? That's why you say these young girls, there's
I
a
am
reason
listening.
they are ending up in our baba.
Yes.
Because these wababa are financially stable, they will give them these things. And we say, for you, a high value man is also an alpha.
So the high value women, remember,
Mi unaniconfuse.
So what
my
are we looking
definition
for?
is different
Yeah.
from hers.
Yes.
Because for her, a high value woman is a woman who is successful in a career.
that is
No,
what
I'm
you are the
saying
one
according
saying.
to
Things
the
like that.
sexual marketplace, Dama is a high value woman. She's at her prime. The one you just
Oh,
said
yeah.
right
So you
now.
should ask him successful.
But remember,
women.
remember,
High
Lynn,
value.
Yes.
everyone ends up with someone,
Yes.
generally.
Yes.
Okay? So when a certain woman thinks that a very muscular guy is the best man she can get, someone else is probably put off with that. Okay? Someone is probably just thinking of money. She wants a rich man. She doesn't care whether akona Port Bailey, akona Suramba, she doesn't care.
But Aliet,
Wait,
Okay.
then there's a woman who thinks that a guy who is funny, who is a good conversationalist, that is the man that she'd like
that's
to marry
my
her.
type.
You see, so it varies. It doesn't necessarily mean all women want the same man.
I'm not high value.
Listen, wait. It doesn't mean all women want the same
But
man.
Aliet, no, I need to go back to what we said because there's a part na kuget, alafu there's a part unanipoteza. The reason why divorced women in their 40s are having a hard time finding someone, it's because the high value men they are going after want high value women.
Thank you.
But the high value women need Dama.
I think
No. These women are not high value.
no,
They're just older
Lynn,
women.
Lynn,
No,
Lynn, for
God
purposes
okay.
of our audience,
Eh.
let's not use the word high value.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Let us use the word younger, because you see,
Good.
high value to us
Is
is
not
different
what-
from high value to
No,
him.
I wanted
No.
his definition.
But you
I
see,
was using
listen,
So
Zippy.
let's just
In
say in
economics,
their 40s,
Dr.
want
Zippy.
younger women.
The value is determined by the market. You cannot
Dr.
decide whether you're high
Dr.
value.
Zippy, it's
No,
okay.
The market determines.
Dr.
The
Zippy,
market has
And the money are the
determined,
men.
no.
It's
Doc,
no problem.
There's somewhere I'm going with
The
this. I
supplier
wanna
can
use.
also
I wanna
determine.
use his sexual market.
use his, yes.
I wanna use
But
his.
use the words younger. Let's not
Yes.
use the high value.
So according
Thank you very
to
much.
Aliet, the reason why you might have a hard time finding a man,
Yeah.
it's because the man you wants Dama.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Dama has a high market value sexually.
Yes.
Dama is 25.
Yes.
Dama is, she should be thinking about marriage right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm telling and she should
She has
wait
no,
for
she has
someone
no
to
prospect of career.
and she
Yes.
needs someone, a high value man who will, she doesn't need to know anything about marriage.
Yes, she needs a
Because
man who is
Aliet
reliable. Yeah.
will walk her through the whole process of
Yes, exactly.
marriage,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Right? But a high value man is also an alpha man.
Not necessarily.
But mostly,
He has
from your
alpha
definition,
qualities. Listen,
a lot of
they are
alpha
called
qualities.
alpha qualities.
Not better,
Alpha qualities, some are good, some are bad.
exactly.
Yeah.
But he has those
It's
qualities.
just like a thorn.
of-
A thorn has, a
No,
rose has
A rose has
thorns.
thorns.
But
Yes.
when Dama gets to 30, she doesn't want to deal with your BS as an alpha male.
If she does not want to deal with that,
But she has
so
4
it
kids.
means you are also
So she
agreeing with
becomes,
that. You think an alpha man has BS.
But there are moments I have agreed with you also. So this is the part I'm
No, I'm coming to the
disagreeing with
BS
you.
part. You're talking about she doesn't want to deal with this
ndio
BS.
nasema, when she's 30, there's a reason she will leave the alpha man and go and settle for a better who can raise the 4 kids she has gotten
Okay,
with
she will only look for the better. You know, better as a look for provision.
Yes.
If she got a broke alpha, then she will look for a better. But alphas, you get an alpha who has money. Dama, why is she? You get an alpha who has money. And most alphas actually have money.
And therefore, who has money will have many other children
Good.
outside.
He may or
Because
may
they are
not.
being desired by
Sometimes-
so many other women.
Sometimes that is a problem.
Okay, anyway,
Yes.
let's go back to
It
the
is true.
teach.
Look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, look at what his life has turned out. So many women, so many divorces because he has all that money.
Are there any
He's
African
good-looking and
examples
so
to
on.
all these things? Though?
Yeah.
Where I come
Look
from.
at Diamond. Look at Michael Jordan, Jay-Z.
You are students.
So
So
Anyways,
anyway, that is just part of
So
life.
is Diamond high value?
Diamond is a high value.
Eh?
He's high value. Absolutely.
Why is he high value?
He's a good question because
Yeah.
he's dominating. in his
So
life.
Dama, it's
High
good
value
we
is
are
being
here. So
dominant and being
Dama,
successful.
Dama, since you are a
So
high
why
value,
should a woman date somebody like Diamond?
so Dama,
Because of the provisioning he can provide.
sasa munanifanya nje.
Hii ni
Dama,
debate yetu. Sasa leo
so Dama, would you go for Diamond? Why would you
But-
not go for Diamond? We are asking a high value woman.
Okay.
that's a
So Dama, why would you not go for Diamond?
Thank you. So for her, she has been taught by culture to
Aliet,
value
no. Aliet, no.
the monogamy.
Don't
No,
hijack this
it's about
point.
values of integrity.
So,
There
hold
are
on.
other values beyond
on.
these
So,
sexual things. I
Dama,
think.
I want to repeat for the people because you don't have an audio. Why would you not go for Diamond?
Baby mamas.
The fact that Diamond has a lot of, but yes, but Diamond, according to Aliet, Diamond is a high value man. But this high value woman does not want to.
Diamond.
Why do we make it look like high value women, high value men are the one who determine the future of who the women end up with?
The question you're asking, first of all, is
no.
meaningless.
No,
The
it
answer
is
she's
not
giving you
meaningless.
is meaningless. The
But
reason
she's
I
a
say,
high value woman,
the reason
so
I
her
say
opinion
is
does
this:
not count.
look at the women Diamond has had.
Yes.
Are they beautiful women?
Kwani she's not beautiful?
She's also very beautiful. Yes.
Yes.
So it tells you that that's why I'm telling you the question you're asking is meaningless. In real life, women still fight for these high value men, even though they are cheating and they are promiscuous, because women prioritize value. Okay?
What
Jacob,
value is
I
there in
think-
a cheating
I
man?
think-
That guy has status.
What is value?
He has status.
No.
He has money.
The thing is this.
Look at
there is value.
and look at someone like
We have
Zuchu.
rich men who don't provide.
Diamond has influenced that woman's life, and now she's a very successful musician.
Who?
Zuchu.
Okay. Do you
Thank
know?
you.
Let me put it like this. Do
Women
you know
go after
that we
value.
have
But
high value
Diamond-
men, rich men who do not provide?
Doc, hold on.
Yeah, that
hold
is
on,
true.
Doc.
Yeah,
Doc,
so
hold
we
on.
cannot say that all high value men
Before we go
are
on,
providers.
no.
They are not providers.
He used,
but they can provide.
But Jacob, you just used Zuchu. But Zari is way older than Diamond.
Yes.
But Diamond went for her.
Yes. Well, that was Diamond high value at the time.
No.
Thank you.
And he left her the moment he became
became-
high value.
Exactly.
For a younger woman.
Thank you.
I'm
But
wrapping
he's
this
still
conversation
going
up.
I've taken you guys to school now.
That's a wrap.
No, for me the thing is,
No, Aliet, that one I agree with you.
for me that one
But
I
in
don't
it-
think I argue with. For me, my issue has always been when if you have a woman, treat her well, and Aliet should avoid using insults on women.
Okay.
I don't know. For me, those are my two main things.
What do you think?
What
about
other
that?
words can you use to describe
okay,
women
what
above
I
40
think,
without calling them war veterans?
Yes.
Okay, maybe you'll give me a word.
When you say war veteran, what do you mean when you call
Yes,
them
what
that?
is war
For those
veteran?
who have not read the book.
We just mean they have been on the dating field, the battlefield.
Which
And they
battle?
have fought many wars. They have dated
Nowadays,
many
younger
men.
people have got higher body count than people at 40.
I agree with you on that, by the way.
So, who are the war veterans?
Do you
No,
know
it
the
doesn't
body
mean
count of the
people they've slept with?
young women
20s,
right now in their
counting
20s?
higher.
They tend to be high, yeah?
Yes.
But
So the roles are now reversing.
that is that's not the only marker.
No,
for,
but you
for high
said it is
value.
a sexuality issue,
Yeah.
biology.
Just the
sexual.
same way.
Sexual market.
Just the same way,
yes.
even women, they want men who are good looking, who are confident, who are attractive, who are honest,
No, you
who have
said
money.
right now
But
biology
most
tena
times,
imetoka.
those qualities cannot come together. Zingine star, they love to divert. And
Okay,
that's
good.
what I'm telling you.
Let's
That's what
go
you
back.
need to know.
So
You
what
can get a
does-
high value
We
man,
have agreed
but be ready.
that
There'll be
women
competition.
above 40 are not war veterans.
But listen, Lynn, the important thing is this. It doesn't mean it is hopeless. You remember I told you what the things that a woman should do to take care of a man. You see, if you're going to have a high value man and you're not taking care of him sexually, he has a lot of options out there. He's going to exercise his options.
Nowadays,
so that's what women need to
by the
What
way,
understand.
makes you?
No,
But women will do that
Lynn,
too.
Aliet has
Yeah,
done
women
his
can
research.
do that
Yeah.
if
Let me
they
tell
want.
you,
But
let
then
me
you
give my
lose your
research.
man.
The number in marriage, in fact, this is the married divorcees. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
Women are begging for sex. Men are not performing.
Okay. Men are not performing or they are not willing.
The thing is this, sex is not happening in marriages right now.
Yeah, men are saying the same thing though.
Yes, and women are begging.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Yes.
I don't know about
There
that.
was a time, there was this narrative with women are wearing a skirt t-shirt.
Yes.
There was that thing
Yes.
of like, your woman turns, you beg. Nowadays, women are begging. You go to any women's forum, it's like, damn, women are begging.
Maybe that's
are
why they
toys-
should listen to me. Let them talk to me because they're probably too masculine. A masculine woman turns off a man.
No.
Okay?
There's no
you
problem.
could be very bossy and you're complaining about your man not wanting you.
In
It's a
fact,
turn-off.
let me tell you, women are doing things to, yani, if you listen to, you need to attend more women's forum because you like writing about women. You need to attend more women's forums.
I know
Yes.
they have very good vibrators nowadays.
Okay.
Wow,
okay.
no,
Let's go back
leave
to
alone.
you.
No, leave alone
I wanna wind up.
vibrators.
I wanna
Leave
go
alone
on.
vibrators because vibrators, that one is another story altogether. But women are trying even to romance men. You see those things that you'd say, cook, nini. People are trying, but one, men are not performing because of obvious reasons. Too much alcohol, lifestyle, too much work and stress. But women knowing that even this man is stressed, hata you massage anafanyiwa, men are still not performing. Men are just zero.
But I've seen.
Okay, that sounds like a health issue.
No. It's not a health issue in all of them. Health issues
So
are
what's the problem?
20%. We are not talking about the 20%.
Okay, so what's going on? Are they watching pornography? Are they masturbating? Something must be happening.
Exactly.
So what's the problem?
No, exactly. You see those reasons you've given. Either they're watching pornography, either they're masturbating and all that kind of stuff, and women are begging. So the reason that was there initially, that men are not having sex because women are refusing, is not the issue. Because women are begging.
Okay, some are refusing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But
it is
how do
not
you feel-
because men outside here have made it like, women, we are not having sex. Our wives are denying us sex.
Okay,
Yet.
listen, Zippy,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're a doctor.
But I'm not of biology.
That means no. When I say that, I mean it means that you know the function of research. When we look at sexless marriages, in most cases, it is a woman denying the man sex.
No, nowadays it's the men.
And wait, let me also
Men
tell
are not
you,
coming home on
there
time.
is
Men
more.
are not.
Listen,
yeah.
there is more.
Yes.
Even if you ignore the research, even if you look at it biologically, it is women whose sexual desire, past the cougar stage particularly, it declines.
Cougar
in
stage is
menopause.
what stage?
What stage is
Let-
cougar stage?
Normally late
important to know.
30s, mid 40s.
Whoa.
Wait.
Aliet.
Hey,
Aliet. No. That is research we are correcting right
In your
now.
30s, you are cougar.
You have just given me credit of a
Scholar
researcher.
is 20 what?
Let me tell you, Aliet, women are at their sexual peak from, let me say, 32 to 50.
Okay.
That time, women can even have it 3 or 4 times a
But
day.
women are the one who say sex becomes
When you talk
good
about
actually
cougar,
in
talk
age.
about cougar at 55. Here 30s. Oh.
Actually, from 30
in
to
fact,
around
30s should hook up
50.
with a 20-year-old
Yes.
man, because that is where the sex energy matches.
I said late 30s. Yeah, but the point
At a late
remains,
30s,
50s,
40s,
late 30s to
55,
50s, it is
aha.
okay.
But
So that
let's
is the
go
point.
back.
55 and above,
No.
ndio kuga inaanza.
We lost- we-
Hapa hivi.
We
Hey.
digressed. Back to the school and the teachers.
You've interrupted me so many times. I don't even remember what
We
I was
were
Abada.
talking
talking
about.
about the formative years of young men.
No, we are talking about why you have sexless marriages.
Yes.
That has come after we died. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's most of the times it's women denying the men sex.
That was what was said, because everything in life, in society, had to be blamed on the woman, and it would look bad if the men were the ones being said because of masculinity,
Yes.
that they was not performing. So women used to keep quiet, but nowadays women are talking,
Yeah.
and they're begging men.
Yeah, but you see, if the problem you are saying,
Yeah.
it should not be restricted or limited to age, because even young men in their 20s watch pornography, they masturbate. So even the young women should also be complaining about that. It should not be linked to maybe marriage and so on, because if you're a young man engaging in those practices, it will affect your sexual performance.
But you see, the thing is, when people are not married, sex is not an obligation.
Okay.
You get it? In marriage, it is like you need to do it. It's an obligation. You get it?
On the part of who, the woman?
No,
or the man?
both.
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 Sex is an
I mean,
obligation
Aliet,
for
the
who?
one reason that people get married, number one, is sex.
For men.
No, for both, even women. Kwani people leave their homes because of hunger? It's sex.
Okay, sex is one of the
Yes,
rewards.
it-
The rewards, but not the reason.
Whichever
What
way you
the
call it.
reason ni?
Whether it is a reward or anything,
For
it's
women,
sex.
it is different. There is status, there is security, provisioning,
No,
and so on.
women.
So women are okay
And
being
that
in
is the-
sexless
that is the
marriages.
wrong-
No, they are not.
narrative.
Of course, they are not.
But
But
Women
it's not
get
the, it's
married
not the
even for
driving
sex.
force. It's not the driving
It
force.
is
one
also
of-
another
Yeah.
reason.
it's one
Because,
of the main
yeah,
though.
remember, the biological imperative for spreading the seeds is for men,
but
not for
Aliet
women.
may
No,
have
you
a
see, the
question.
same way you've said
No,
men marry
Doc.
for children, even women marry for other provision.
But-
sex is also the other unspoken way people marry.
But
I
Jacob,
agree.
you
Yes.
have a woman who is telling you one of the main reasons women are getting married is because of sex.
Okay.
But you tend to disagree. But she's the woman
Listen,
here.
the reason I'm disagreeing is this.
Yeah.
Practically, almost any man. Listen, practically almost any man can have sex with a woman. But a woman will not marry any man.
That's
She's going
true.
to marry a man
That's
who
true.
has money, who has status, who is somebody in the society.
No, and a man who
Yes.
she enjoys sex with.
Not so
Yes, that is also true.
Yes, and a man.
And she will
because-
enjoy sex with him because of the things I'm mentioning.
No.
You're
In
not
fact-
going to
in
enjoy
fact-
sex with a broke man.
No, in
You
fact,
won't even access
look
it.
at, I want us to look at a situation where, let's
Doc,
say,
would
the
you
man.
enjoy sex with a broke
No,
man?
me, I have not been
He won't
seduced
even
by
have
broke
the
men.
chance.
Let's look at
You
a
see,
situation.
she would even say, be seduced.
This is a woman who
Yes.
has got 3 suitors who are all able to afford.
Yes.
Let's say, si umesema nowadays they sleep around. Let's say she has had sex with all the 3. The reason she will pick one
It's because he's a
of this.
performer.
Yes.
True. But it's because he has met the primary purpose,
But
which
all
is
of
being
them
a
are
provider,
providers.
which is a
So let's
status.
leave alone the broke
But
ones.
all of them are
because-
providers.
So it
Let
goes
me, I
back.
always say, let a broke man marry a broke
Listen,
woman. That one I
it
do
goes
not
back to
refuse.
hypergamy.
Yes.
How do women deal with the conflict that she's put? They'll get a better male provider, they'll marry him, then they'll sneak out and sleep with the alpha.
No. That is what men do.
women
That is what men do.
No.
Men can identify a good wife, and they'll marry that good wife. They say they will marry the donkey and go for the zebra. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Yes, because that is what men do. Women don't do that. Women will marry you and commit.
Okay, some men
Whether
do
the
that.
sex is bad, they
Or
will
not, they will
sacrifice
commit.
that
But
sex.
if women marry and commit, men will not be failing paternity tests.
Those ones are reasons of not men failing paternity tests. The question is, why are men even going for paternity tests?
Why not?
So why shouldn't they go?
Because
for
me, I am a Pan-Africanist. If you are a man, you man up.
Hey.
The same way the ones you have spread outside are being taken care of,
By another
take care
man.
of here.
And
Yes.
if you are a woman, you sleep around.
No,
Yes.
don't sleep around.
Then why should the man not be concerned
No,
about
no,
paternity?
don't sleep around. I'm not looking justifying anyone sleeping around, men
Okay.
or woman.
Okay.
But if it so happens
You
that
man up.
No,
Man
you
up.
man up, because the thing is this, and these are things happening because another man impregnated another woman. So this woman has to bear that child in that home.
Okay. And
Yes.
who took her to that man? Si alienda peke yake?
No, because you met her after she had already had that child.
No. That is retroactive cuckoldry. Sometimes it happens.
Not
But
retroactive.
there are women who cheat within marriage. They step out.
No,
they
but
get
those ones
another
are
man's
very
child.
fewer cases.
And why would you need paternity in any case if she came with a child?
No.
Yeah?
Because sometimes you think that it was your pregnancy. Then the pregnancy was given birth in your home. Yes.
How? But you would know. You wouldn't need paternity.
No.
So anyway, the
thing
point is this. Zippy,
Whether the woman goes out.
Zippy, I need to help you.
Whether the woman goes out or not.
I need
Jacob.
to help you.
You, when a man goes out, do you bring that child to your home?
No.
When a man goes out,
Yes.
obviously he doesn't carry a pregnancy. He stays out there. Unless he
Good.
wants to be a polygamous man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why should this woman chase this child?
Which child?
When you go out and impregnate another girl, that mpango wa
So
kando
you're
or
asking why
another...
shouldn't the mpango wakando chase a child?
No. Why should you as okay, the same example. I am your wife. She's your mpango. You make her pregnant. Why don't you bring that child here?
If I want, some men do.
No. We are not saying some men do. The same way some women also should just keep it here.
Because I'm the one who is providing for this child.
But the thing is this, if she gets a man, you get what I mean? And then has a child with that other man. Let me say, in fact, let's...
That man,
Yeah.
that's a good question. If that man accepts, he's a beta male. And beta males are there in the animal
No,
kingdom.
beta males are
they
the
raise
ones
the children
women
of other
want.
men.
Beta
If he's
males are
an
the best
alpha,
men.
if that man is an alpha, he will not accept. And that's why we tell men to be alpha, so that we stop this habit of increasing single mothers all
we
over.
don't. Okay,
But then
forget
the
about the
ones-
alpha betas. Me, I don't care who's an alpha beta.
Of course, you
The
don't
thing
care
is-
because it serves your imperatives.
No. It does not serve my imperative.
No, you know why
For
you
me,
are
I don't care whether a man is an
Aliet,
alpha or a
you
beta.
want men
Because you want them both to serve you. That's why
Which
you don't
both?
care.
Which both?
Because one will make you pregnant and one will help you to raise the
No.
child.
The thing is this. Some of us, we do not show time. A lot of women do not show time.
Then why don't you speak against it?
We are speaking against
But
it.
But you're
doing
telling
it
the
for-
man to
I do not-
tolerate.
I do not
You're
date
telling
married
the man
men.
to
No,
man now.
That
but she
alone,
just saying
I don't date
she's
married
not
men, that's the
encouraging
thing.
him
Then
And I
why
don't
to
encourage
sleep
the
around.
man to raise children who are not his?
But-
No, why is the man? Why are men philandering outside? Every funeral in Kenya nowadays, except the
Because they are
latest
willing
one.
partners.
Huh?
Because they are willing partners.
So willing partners,
Willing
and you
buyer,
are going there
willing
willingly
seller.
without a condom and expecting that woman not to get
That's
pregnant.
what men are doing. You're asking why. I'm telling you because they are both agreeing. They're consenting adults.
So when a child comes out of that, where does the child go?
Now, that's what I'm saying. If you as a man, you're told to raise this child, refuse. Because you are
So-
being betadized. If you as a woman are married, stay in your marriage. Be faithful.
No, women are being faithful.
Then they should not have a discussion.
No.
What
But
are we
men,
discussing?
what about men who are not faithful? What happens to where are they taking their children? You see,
That should not arise.
No. You are stigmatizing the women. My question is on the men.
I'm not stigmatizing the women.
Uh-uh.
I'm just telling men to learn that when you have this 40-year-old with a
Yeah,
child,
because women will.
you can always get a 23-year-old who is childless.
No problem.
Hey.
Women
Yes.
be faithful. We agree, and many women are faithful. But these men who even hit on married women, because married women are more beautiful, I hear.
Okay.
Oh yes.
That's called the Lulu. But
Your
go on.
research has not brought that to you. Your research has not brought that to you.
It's not the Lulu.
Yes, married women look more beautiful because
They're
they're
not
taken care of.
beautiful. They are just low-hanging fruits.
No,
because
okay.
There's no commitment.
Whatever the reason.
There's no commitment.
Whatever the
but
reason.
go on.
Okay,
Whatever
we are
the
done.
reason,
Okay,
we-
let's wind up.
And we don't care the reason.
Let's
But
Doc, wind up.
this man
Wind
is
up,
going
Doc.
to this married woman. Can
Yes.
you tell the men to stop sleeping around also?
Okay, where is the camera you talk
Here.
to? You men, can you stop sleeping around?
It's done.
Yeah, that is fine.
I've never
So-
encouraged men to sleep around.
No,
because
but when you
I told you it's very costly for men to sleep around.
Do
by
you
the
know
way.
indirectly you tell men at 40 to seduce women at 25, and most of the men at 40 are either married or divorced.
No.
How
I'm
many-
just telling them-
Indirectly, that's what I'm telling you. Indirectly,
Okay, maybe
that's the message you
indirectly.
get to
And
tell them.
what is wrong with it, even if it's indirectly? I'm just telling them there is greater value in the younger women than in the older one, because even the older ones are even more expensive. You, Zippy, if I take you for a date where coffee is 50 bob, you're going to say, what kind of a man
course
is
not,
this?
yeah.
But if I take her, she wouldn't mind.
But there's
Okay?
another,
Mama,
no,
you wouldn't
there's a 40-year-old woman who is not successful like me, who would still want that 50.
Probably, but why would I want a broke 40-year-old woman?
Oh, okay. Hey, we are wrapping
No.
this up.
Do you know why I'm
Doc,
happy
wrap
about
it
this?
up, yes.
Because
Yes.
the way we are rapping, it
Yeah.
has just justified what he always says, that 40-year-old successful women who are not submissive. Why
Yeah.
would he want the others? He wants this.
Exactly. That is true. Get a younger woman, she'll give you less headache, less stress.
But get an
a
older,
rich
successful woman.
But when you you see, when this successful older woman is single, there's a reason why she's single.
Of course, even a man is single.
Yes.
There's a reason
But
why.
then the same advice applies
Yes.
to women.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if all the other men rejected her, what
No,
makes you
not
think-
rejected her.
what makes you
Sometimes
think
even as we
you'll do
reject,
better?
if she also
You don't
rejected
think
the
a
other
woman
men.
can be the one rejecting
Yeah.
men?
If she also
If she
rejected,
rejects the men, also it shows that she has a problem. She's probably delusional. You don't want that.
whatever.
Yes.
Doc, why did
Because just like a
No,
product,
it's
if you
okay.
listen,
It's okay.
Lynn, if I sold this book Unplugged at 10,000, 20,000, no one will buy it. It's overpriced.
yes.
So if a woman also overprices herself, she'll remain in the sexual marketplace. Nobody will pick her. Nobody can afford her. It means she's delusional.
That's why I'm saying for whatever reasons. But then there is the us.
But those reasons will affect you if you marry her.
Then there is the us who
which
were
us
married
is
at
this?
that 2025
Okay.
and are divorced.
Yes.
And we are now here.
Good.
It is okay.
Yes.
And you are high.
And we are
And your
value
rival.
according
and
to your
we
standard.
are going to get married again.
Yes.
Yes, but the 23-year-olds will give you stiff competition.
No.
That's
the
what
thing
I'm
is this,
saying.
we are not competing with the 23-year-olds.
Okay?
It is a different target market.
Unless you are targeting married men, because
No,
men
no,
of
no.
your age are already
like
married.
I told you,
Any
I
man
don't
above 40 who is still single has issues.
they are also divorced. Let me
Yeah,
tell
if
you,
they're divorced, that is okay.
There's one thing that maybe we also need to understand. The
Or
reasons for
widowed.
divorce are different, isn't it?
Yes.
The reason why these two people may not be able to communicate
Yes.
may be totally be the reasons why that same divorcee and this same divorcee, when they meet, they create a perfect couple.
Yeah, but that's trivializing divorce. People don't divorce because of problems of communication.
No.
Divorce is very serious.
No, divorce is very serious. I'm giving you a light example
But now
because
you're
I do
saying
not want to talk about
communication.
abuse.
I mean, seriously. Okay,
No,
but go on.
communication leads to abuse. That is what you said.
No.
Lack of communication.
No.
Yes.
No.
You said they disagree.
Then
She
this
does
man
not
becomes
disrespect.
physical.
No.
And then the man becomes.
It was not about communication. It was about this woman now having a higher income than the man.
No, you said
No, she
disrespect.
becomes-
That's what you were
she
talking
dis-
about.
You
no,
said
you
disrespect.
Yes, that's what I said.
Disrespect is a
Yes.
communication
Okay,
issue.
let's
Disrespect is a communication
Disrespect
issue.
is a communication issue.
No.
Yes, it is.
How so?
Give me an example of disrespect.
She starts coming home late.
And then, why can she be asked, why are you coming home late?
She
Why
can
hasn't
be
she
asked.
communicated why?
Of course, she can be asked.
Yes.
Now,
So isn't it a communication issue?
how she responds to that is not a communication issue.
It
So what
is.
if she says, I'm very, very sorry, I'm not going to do this again? Then she does it again. And again and again. Is that a communication
Then
issue?
it is a communication issue still, because it means there is another reason why she is not changing.
So then
whether
all-
it is the man or the woman, not just one
So
side.
all issues in marriage are communication issues.
It stems from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
I mean, even sexual
We agree
satisfaction
to
is a
disagree.
communication
But
We
I've
issue.
agree
made
to
my point.
disagree.
No, sexual can be a health issue. As you mentioned, maybe ni mlevi tu anakunywa,
Yeah.
he's not exercising, he's not taking care of his health, he will not be able to perform.
But
But
one
again,
thing anyway,
sex, finance, and communication. They are major in any relationship.
Yeah, they are.
hata finance, kama hauna pesa, you communicate and say, babe, naona hapa we
kubaya.
have to reduce our expenses. You know, it's communication.
Usi-act alpha.
Yeah, if you are the guy who is the main provider, yes.
Even if it is the woman.
If it's a woman, you're going to tell to shut up.
Okay, let's...
Anyway, for me, the
Malize-
thing is,
yes, wind it
as
up.
we wind it up, for me, I still just request Aliet that moving on,
Okay.
you need to, we are here to learn and unlearn
Yes,
and
and
relearn. Perhaps you need to find better words. That, as we have said, that high value is age, but high value for the same women who are 25 and are now 40 is not age. It's based on something else. We prefer that as your customers.
Veterans.
I'd get veterans, because you wrote Unplugged 3 for women and you
Yes.
even made it red. We need to read it. Yes, that's Unplugged 3. It's for women. Yeah.
It's not for women, it's about women, but go on.
Yeah, but you're always talking about women.
Okay.
Yes. Women are your prime market.
Okay.
Men don't buy many times. I mean, how many times do men buy shoes? The thing is,
I want you to wind up so that I can also wind up.
okay. And if you wind up wrong, I'll wind up again.
Yes.
The thing is, Aliet, we just want you, one, to respect women in your choice of words as you communicate and teach men.
Or
It is
veterans,
possible to teach men,
ceiling inspectors.
whatever, those words.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
those ones needs to stop. Yes, because if they continue, fine. I mean, there's nothing we will do, but we'll just be like,
Okay.
You get what I mean? It will be better for Aliet as a man, as a high value man, to use respectful words towards women.
Okay.
Aliet?
Thank you. So thanks for this opportunity. Primarily, I'm an advocate for men because men are very idealistic. And when men find that the woman they invested in is not who they thought they were, many men deal with that in very catastrophic ways. They kill women, they commit suicide, and so on. So I'm just trying to teach men how to balance their idealism with the reality. And they are my primary audience. Even in social media, 70% of my followers are men. But even the women who follow me are women who have brothers and sons. And in many cases, even this book is bought by women, they want to give it to their brothers because they see the value. And the challenge we normally have is, we normally say that one gender's sexual strategy normally relies on the ignorance of the other genders about that particular sexual strategy. So even women, in terms of the messaging they give, you'll find they don't tell you the right thing that they need to tell you as a man. So I'll take requests into consideration. Maybe I'll ask my followers if you can stop using war veterans, we come up with a new terminology that is congenial or acceptable to her. But what I know is that the issue is the message. They don't like the message. It's not about the terminologies that are used. Because many women, when men remain oblivious of their sexuality and the sexuality of women, then women can really play the field. And me, I'm waking men up. And when men are awake, it becomes difficult to take advantage of them. Thank you very much.
You want to add?
Yeah, I just want to add, like, as Dr.Zippy Okoth, when I am a Pan-Africanist, I really believe in African values for the woman. And when we talk about masculinity, as it is right now, most people do not understand the meaning of masculinity and even feminism. And so perhaps it is just important that, one, even as you bring up your boys, it is important to bring up your girls to be go-getters, because right now, if being go-getters and being career and successful women is what is going to make women be called masculine, then it is okay to be masculine, young girls, because success should not be pegged on marriage alone. Marriage will give you a better social status, because I mean, I'm getting married again. And 10 times or 5 times, whatever time.
And Aliet is invited.
Oh, he definitely is. This is my very good friend. He can't miss. But the thing is, we have to look at the value of a woman differently, beyond sexuality, beyond biology, because where we are going right now, it's about what everyone can bring to the table. As a woman, if you cannot bring anything to the table, you are increasing your chances of abuse. So any young girl out there, I'll say, go to school, get yourself a job, get yourself a career. And if they call you masculine, say thank you. Because if that is what's going to make men be scared, the right man will still be there standing with you, right next to you. For the women and the men going through different situations in their life, like I always say, suicide is not the final option. You can always seek help, and there will always be somebody there to listen, to help you. It doesn't matter what you're going through. There's life after divorce. There's life after trauma. There's still life somewhere. Thank you.
Good. Aliet, you're good?
I'm good.
Shall we wind up?
Yeah.
A reminder of where people can be able to find your work.
Yeah, Oops Zippy, The Diary of a Divorced Man. You can find it at Nuria Online Bookstore.
Good. Unplugged?
Yeah, you can also find Unplugged in Nuria Bookstore. There's 1, 2, and 3.
Good.
And they teach you a lot about intersexual dynamics, how you can get success, how you can become a man, and also about female nature.
I know this was a very much needed conversation, but before I wind up, allow me to echo something that Zippy has said. As someone who has read your book, I want to say I agree with 99% of the things that you've said. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you.
But there's that 1% that really turned me off. Not because I don't agree with what you've said, but because of some of the things, how you've said them. Especially for me, I think one of the turn-off was the arrogant part. I felt like if someone has read this book akafika hapo, and then they say things like, I would encourage you to be arrogant, and then it's not well elaborated. When I say call her 3 times and it's not well elaborated, like you could be busy, you could be working on ABCD. It's left there hanging for people to interpret for themselves. That turns me off. I'm like, Aliet, we were doing so. I am learning, because this is a learning opportunity for so many women. Personally, I'm not ashamed to say that. There are things I also didn't know about men that I'm figuring out as I go, but also I feel like sometimes you leave things hanging, and they would be well, if they are well elaborated, then someone wouldn't be able to take offense, like arrogant, because arrogance can sometimes translate to
it sounds abusive.
So for me, I would love to give this book to my brothers, to my sisters, to my, friends, the males in my circle, my husband, all this, my partner. But when I see arrogant, I'm like, oh, gosh, it gives me shivers, because it might be translated to. But it's a very good book. It's something I'm advocating for people to be able to read. I feel like people wouldn't know until they read the book. I feel the book is more deeper than the other.
Okay, that's good.
Does it make sense? Like,
it makes sense.
The paragraphs are well stated, kila kitu ina fall into place, and then there is that one turn off. I don't have to be, a woman doesn't have to be part of this for a man to understand. Men are understanding. Men are getting it. I love that you're challenging men also to work on themselves, on their stature, on their body, work on their skills. These are things that put them up there. So for me, as I said earlier, it's something I would want a lot of people to read, but to echo what me personally, I don't have a problem with ametuita war veterans. It's how that like there could have been.
But war veterans are respected in the US, surely.
Not in Kenya.
Guys, I hope you
anyway, guys.
Don't
No.
You
Forget
cannot close 3
that.
times.
So
You
guys,
cannot close 3 times.
relax, Aliet. Relax.
Very relaxed.
You are not going to abuse us anymore. Anyway, guys, my movie Otis Janam, you can still find it on My Movies Africa and watch it there. You can hire it for 7 days or hire it for a lifetime. You can watch it there. And also, if you're at least 15 of you, we can organize for you a screening in the cinemas at your convenience.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
15 people?
At least 15 or more. We can organize for you a screening at your
let's
convenience.
go. I would love to come with my fans.
Yes.
And we just watch.
Yes.
Aliet, I know you've not watched the movie.
No, I haven't watched it.
Watch it.
Watch it. Certainly.
Men, they are very masculine.
Okay.
Oh, yes. They are very masculine.
They're alpha. I'm out,
And we
guys.
promote polygamy.
Yeah.
Aliet
Exactly,
wants this thing
we
to
will.
end as soon
Watch
as
it.
possible.
But alpha is software, it's not hardware.
Yes, it's software. It's not hardware. I got that. But thank you guys
And the
for-
man there is very arrogant.
Yes.
So easy. It should be.
We are not doing that, Zippy. Guys, I want to know what your feedback is on the comment section, honestly. This was just a fun conversation to have, but I hope we've taken what we can back home, and we are going to, I always say we don't have to agree, by the way, but at least let's allow room or give room for conversations, because you never know at the end of the day. We could pick something from this, you could pick something from Aliet, from Zippy, let me know. But most importantly, as I said, go get these books. Me, I will not be shy of championing for us to be able to read our own work. So go at Nuria. I love Nuria. I imagine Nuria Wanilipangi, but I've always found their services to be very amazing. Since way back, they are my bookstore of choice, and that's not even an ad. I hope they are very, and I love how they promote local authors.
Yes.
So for me, I always tell my people to go and get whatever they need from those guys.
Absolutely.
And
They're
they are
the best.
excellent. They are the
And
best.
he has raised the
bar.
the stature of even Kenyan authorship.
Yes.
We are more visible.
Good.
We have a platform to sell and advertise our books.
Good.
He's even promoting book tours.
Even him, you know. So I hope we can be able to go and check out. Remember, you can also order. You can go to their platforms. You can order a book, and they also deliver. Apart from that, let me say thank you to also our official partners of today's conversation, Kings Developers Limited. You know them by now, and Maridadi Motors. Go check them out. And don't forget, if you want to share your story with us, info@lnn.digital. I know by the time you are watching this, our team will be in Australia, so I hope we can get to document beautiful stories for you while we are at it, and I hope we can continue growing one story at a time. I'm gonna see you maybe hopefully tomorrow 10 a.m. If not, don't go anywhere. We'll be simnajua tutawaletea hizi stories. Bye.